What the hell? He just woke up, and the first thing he saw was a pair of giant, round hills. Zishan had transmigrated, turning into a barely conscious infant. The system panel quickly materialized. Lin Zishan. Age, 33 days. Attributes, none. And look, I even got a golden finger. 3 months later. Lin Zishan, now 3 months old. Wei Xin and Lin Mansheng happily played with their little one. You're chilling on your lap again, baby? You never cry or fuss. You're such a good boy. You make mommy worry so much less. Just look at him. He clearly has innate physical talent. He's going to be an advanced gene fuser someday, guaranteed. Even if he doesn't hit that mark, he'll definitely be a high-tier mechanical modifier. The achievement panel instantly popped up. In just 3 months, I completed the first system mission. The skill advance only makes me feel a slight surge in my personal power. But seriously, what the heck are these gene fusers and mechanical modifiers Dad keeps mentioning? Are they talking about drug addicts? Or maybe killers? The timeline shifts. Lin Zishan, 4 months old. By 4 months, Zishan could already sit up and crawl. To keep his parents from being freaked out by his abnormal behavior, he could only begin his physical training sessions after dark. Time passes. Lin Zishan, 5 months old. Driven by the advance-only skill, he was already walking by 5 months. When Lin Zishan hit 6 months, he could finally sit up and crawl openly in front of his parents. A news bulletin flashes on the TV. This is a report on the anomalous beasts. Gene fusers and mechanical modifiers must unite to combat these threats. For the first time, Zishan realized that this Earth he now inhabited was radically different from the one he had known before he transmigrated. More accurately, the Earth Zishan lived on had undergone a massive transformation, and countless terrifying, unknown creatures had emerged. These creatures are collectively known as anomalous beasts. In order to resist the anomalous beasts, humanity spent decades pioneering 2 main developmental paths. First, the mechanical augmentation path, physical transformation, using advanced technology to defeat the beasts. The second, and arguably higher path, involves genetic modification, fusing with the genes of the anomalous beasts themselves, thereby acquiring a portion of their terrifying power. Fighting magic with magic. Fortunately, Zishan had his own system, allowing him to safely grow, evolve, and survive in this perilous world. Just then, a knock on the front door drew Zishan's attention. A gentle voice came from the other side of the door. Hello, my name is Su Ming. We just moved in next door. This is a small housewarming gift. These two are my husband, Shun Jianya, and my daughter, Shun Qinghan. We hope to get along well with all of you. This girl would become Zishan's very first friend in this new world. But at this moment, he had no idea if their destinies would become tightly interwoven in the years to come. Later, Lin Zishan, now 7 months old, he could coordinate his body and practice skilled, controlled running. He could also leap and precisely control the height of his jumps. Not only that, but he was also independently training his monologue and language skills. Thanks to advance only, Zishan had mastered the fundamentals, running, jumping, and speaking, all within 7 months. Soon enough, Lin Zishan reached 8 months. At this point, he was capable of doing full sit-ups and push-ups. Zishan only dared to do this when his parents weren't home. But walk too close to the river, and eventually you'll slip in. Sure enough, an unexpected mishap occurred today. Wei Xin rubbed her eyes, blinking repeatedly. What the? Is Shunshin doing sit-ups? Sigh, I knew it. I've been so wrapped up writing my novels lately that I'm probably having a nervous breakdown and starting to hallucinate. Wei Xion's profession, male-oriented novel author. Zishan feigned sleepiness and sighed internally with relief. Phew, that was close. I need to be much more careful next time. A few days later, Wei Xion screamed, terrified. Honey, something serious has happened. Get over here now. Lin Mansheng rushed the door open. Sweetheart, what's wrong? Wei Xion pointed anxiously at their son's body. Look, how does our Shunshin, at only 8 months old, have a six-pack? He stroked his chin, lost in thought. Shunshin's appetite was already incredible, and now he has developed actual abdominal muscles. I understand now. Honey, do you think our son might be a 1-in-a-million genius? It seems our Shunshin has a brilliant future ahead. He'll most likely become a gene fuser, or at the very least, a mechanical modifier. Lin Mansheng's profession, male novel author +1. Phew. My system cheat was almost exposed. I can't believe Dad just jumped to the conclusion that I'm a genius. Having 2 parents who are professional fiction writers is definitely a blessing. Speaking of geniuses, Zishan wasn't the only one on this strange earth. There was a young prodigy from a 1,000-year-old martial arts family in the capital, a boy born with superhuman strength. At just 2 years old, he could already lift a 20-kilogram weight with one hand. Wei Xion gently stroked his head, encouraging him. But our Shunshin is amazing too. I'm certain you won't be overshadowed by that prodigy in the future. Hearing that sparked intense ambition within him. Mom always knows best. I wonder if I can manage to lift 20 kilograms easily when I hit 2 years old. Sometime later, Lin Zishan 2 years old, in the storage room. He proudly hoisted the heavy object. Finally, I'm 2. Thanks to the advance-only skill, I can now easily single-arm lift 20 kilograms. Wei Xin called out quickly, searching for him. Shin, where are you? Little sister Han-in is here to play. Come out right now. He quickly brushed the dust off his clothes and hurried outside. The moment the door opened, Zishin's heart skipped a beat. It was Shun Qinghan, also 2 years old, offering a second egg tart. He awkwardly refused. Thanks. You eat it. Shun Qinghan was the same age, but still spoke with the mushy, unclear pronunciation typical of toddlers. Because their intellectual capabilities were vastly different, they couldn't exactly play together. Han-in would sleep after eating, and he would use that time to train. They always liked spending time together, and Han-in conveniently served as the perfect human weight for Zishin's workouts. However, there was one tiny issue with this particular weight. Zishin shrieked in terror. Han-in, I think you peed again. She just occasionally wets the bed. Lin Zishin, 3 years old. By 3, he could lift a 40-kilogram weight with a single hand. The TV news showed a report. Unbelievable. A 4.5-year-old prodigy in the capital can lift 30 kilograms with one hand. Meanwhile, Zishin is already more skilled than that contemporary boy wonder. He looked at his biological system panel, deep in thought. Yet, my biological level is still stuck at Common Rank 1. What exactly will Common Rank 2 look like? Will it vastly exceed human limitations? Carrying these doubts, Zishin ventured out of the house for the very first time. As he gazed upon the outside world, those orcs and robots must be the gene fusers and mechanical modifiers, right? The first place Zishin headed was the library. Since his parents heavily restricted his use of electronic devices, the library was the best place for him to seek answers to his rapidly multiplying questions. Seeing her son run away, Wei Xin and Qinghan frantically chased after him. Shin, the children's reading section is right here. Where are you going? Zishin, wait up. She's panting, but she forces the question out. Zishin, why are you reading books like this? Mengpeng laughs, eyes squinting teasingly. Looks like the star student is making people jealous. Meanwhile, the innocent Qinghan shares his snack. Zishin, I still have a few cookies left. Want one? Zishin firmly declines. No, thank you. I need to read. You eat them. Through his intensive reading, he started developing a deeper understanding of this mutated Earth's worldview. It turns out the ancient stone tablet in this mysterious ruin recorded that the world is divided into 6 biological ranks. Common, advanced, rare, epic, legendary, and mythical. Each rank is further divided into 9 stages. Ordinary humanity is only stage 1 of the common rank. In the face of higher-ranked beings, they are no better than ants. It looks like Zishin needs to drastically speed up his growth if he wants any hope of surviving this dangerous world. The system truly understood his ambition. It immediately issued Zishin a new mission. From this moment on, you can pursue both academic and martial excellence. Lin Zishin, 4 years old. In the following days, he didn't slack off, diligently continuing his reading and physical training. At the age of 4, Zishin started attending kindergarten. Shortly after entering kindergarten, he smoothly upgraded to Common Rank Stage 2. He could now lift 80 kilograms with one hand, jump 1.2 meters from standstill, and run 100 meters in under 11 seconds. These figures are unattainable even for a common adult, let alone a kindergartner. As the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. The other children teamed up to mock Qinghan, the bedwetting king. Shun Qinghan, 4 years old, often wet the bed. So when Qinghan was bullied at kindergarten, how could Zishin possibly stand by and do nothing? He stood on the podium and roared, instructing them, "Shut your mouths, all of you. If anyone dares to call him the bedwetting king again, I will personally turn you into the bedwetting king. Is that clear?" The children instantly burst into desperate tears. "Daddy, I'm scared. Mommy, I want to go home. I won't do it again. I don't want to come to kindergarten anymore." He didn't expect a new mission to pop up right then. A new one before the previous one was even complete. It looks like I can handle multiple tasks simultaneously. That's definitely good news. 6 months later, Zishin successfully completed his reading mission and received the biological trait, Heavenly Human Root of Wisdom. From that point on, his learning ability reached the pinnacle of humanity. Time truly flies. He was nearly 7 now. Both of them successfully celebrated their kindergarten graduation. During the break before primary school, Zishin continued his physical training and self-improvement. He leaped high and looked down at the ground. This time, he broke the barrier, over 2 meters. And this time, he finally ran 100 meters in under 8 seconds. Blessed by the heavenly human root of wisdom, he used his free time to essentially complete the entire primary school curriculum, hoping to quickly earn the title of primary school boss. Afterward, Zishin enrolled at Yangwang Primary School in Shanghai City. He had finally crossed the threshold into elementary school. Since Zishin had already begun self-studying middle school and high school courses, Succeeding in primary school was simple. Winning awards was minor. The important thing was to quickly secure the title of primary school boss. Usually at school, Zishan would spend his free time tutoring Shen Qinghan. He leaned close, guiding him through his exercises. Read this part aloud with me. Grand Mazer. Qinghan playfully shot back. Shut your mouth and go away. Zishan patiently corrected him. No, that's not right. Read it again. Although Shen Qinghan didn't possess any special talent, he was obedient and diligent. After just one semester, his grades ranked second in the entire grade. Number one, of course, was Zishan. To earn the title quickly, besides academics, he also actively participated in school sports competitions and broke every school record. Just as Zishan settled into the predictable routine and boring elementary school life, a very unique transfer student suddenly appeared in his class. The homeroom teacher excitedly announced, "Today, our class welcomes a new transfer student." The reason Zishan considered her unique was because, "Let's all welcome our classmate, Bai Shui." He could distinctly sense a trace of non-human aura emanating from her. Bai Shui walked confidently down the classroom aisle, observed by every pair of eyes fixed on her. As she passed, Qinghan immediately whispered to Zishan, "Little Shun, her hair is so beautiful, just like winter snow." I seriously have no intention of responding to Shen Qinghan right now. Bai Shui arrived at her seat and gently pulled the chair out before sitting down. She sat right behind Zishan. He was still deep in thought. My biggest concern is why Bai Shui has a non-human aura. Is she a gene integrator? Or maybe the descendant of one? Thinking back, Bai Shui hasn't spoken to anyone these past few days. Every time class ended, she would just lie stretched out on her desk without moving. She rarely even went to the restroom. Initially, everyone was curious about her. But as time passed, no one paid her any mind anymore. The classroom returned to its original quiet state. It took over a month for that quiet peace to truly be broken. During this time, a certain white liquid began to secrete from Bai Shui's body. I don't know exactly what the liquid was, but it had a very foul odor. When she stretched, the stench intensified, causing the surrounding students to frown uncomfortably. What exactly is that liquid coming from her? Seriously, it smells awful. A boy passing by chimed in. That liquid looks familiar. Maybe she's just dirty. Guanchun walked behind Bai Shui without hesitation, directly pouring water straight on her head while sneering. "I'm a good person, so I'll help you out. A shower will make things much healthier, won't it?" Cold drops of water streamed down. Bai Shui's hands clenched into tight fists on the desk. She was so angry she gnashed her teeth, uttering a small, choked sound. The cold water silently ran through every strand of hair, soaking her thin clothes completely. The group of students who caused this laughed heartily and naturally, which made Zishan turn around, asking himself in surprise. What the hell? I always assumed Bai Shui was dangerous, but why is she crying now? Seeing this, Qinghan grew worried and spoke up. "Little Shun, poor Bai Shui. Can we help her?" Zishan quickly stood up, his mind churning. I still don't know Bai Shui's real background, but she doesn't seem as dangerous as I first suspected. At least right now, she's just a weak girl being tormented by others. With that thought, he walked over, slamming his hand down hard on the boy's shoulder. "Guanchun." Zishan's face darkened, his mood unreadable. He lowered his voice and issued a firm command. "Wipe the water off Bai Shui's desk." Hearing the demand was like a slap across the face. He was shocked and broke out in a cold sweat. He stammered, "No problem. I'll clean it up right away." Guanchun obediently went over and wiped up all the water on the desk. Lin Zishan is famous throughout the school, a genius both in studies and martial arts. Even the sixth graders wouldn't dare cross him. I should just keep my head down and listen. Zishan pointed past Guanchun and addressed the crowd. "Everyone who bullied Bai Shui recently, get over here and apologize to her. Now." The rest of the students were just as stunned by the demand. They instantly turned deathly pale and responded in unison. The students meekly lined up in a row in front of her desk. They spoke softly. "We were wrong, Bai Shui. We're so sorry. Please forgive us. We promise we'll never bully you again." Bai Shui was overwhelmed with gratitude. "Lin Zishan, Shen Qinghan, thank you. Thank you both so much." She patted Bai Shui on the shoulder and replied, "What's with all the formality? It's just normal for classmates to help each other out when someone's having trouble." From that day on, Shen Qinghan started spending time with the white-haired girl, always dragging me along so we could be friends with her. If she had any good food, she would always share it with Bai Shui first. Outside, while Bai Shui and Qinghan were chatting excitedly. "Oh right," she stammered quietly, I smell bad. Don't you guys hate me?" Bai Shui's eyes welled up. "I'm sorry. It's not that I don't believe you. It's just that everyone has avoided and ostracized me since I was little. So this feeling of happiness, having someone beside me for the first time, it feels unreal, like I'm dreaming." Qinghan heard her confession and firmly stated, "No, this isn't a dream." She spoke sincerely. "I went through the same thing as you. That's why I would never hate you. Besides, as long as you agree, we'll be best friends forever." Bai Shui felt a deep warmth spreading through her heart upon hearing this, and she reached out. She didn't hesitate to pull Qin Han into a tight hug. Bai Shui choked back tears, stammering, thank you so much. Then, as if remembering something, Bai Shui added, oh right. Henin, Xiaoshun, you two always cook delicious food for me and treat me like a friend. So, I want to give you something too. My mom gave me this pair of beast fangs for my birthday last year. I want you both to have them now. I hope you don't mind. And I hope we'll be best friends forever. We'll be best friends forever. Just when Qin Han thought this friendship would last forever, something unexpected happened. She stared blankly upon hearing the news. What? You mean Bai Shui is transferring schools? Zishan nodded definitively. Yeah, I saw her filling out the transfer paperwork myself. Scene shifts inside the teacher's office. The man with glasses standing next to Bai Shui said, I sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. He handed a folder to the teacher. Thank you, sir. The teacher replied, not at all. Bai Shui's procedures are complete, and the information will be kept strictly confidential. Zishan, listening outside, immediately realized, Bai Shui's identity is definitely not simple. From that day on, we never saw Bai Shui again. Perhaps she was just a fleeting shadow in our childhood. Compared to Bai Shui's departure, the events that followed were far more concerning to me. Scene shifts to evening. Inside a cozy, well-lit room, Zishan gently asked, Mom, how's the tension in your arm? Wei-Yin stretched her hand and replied, it's fine. I spent all day writing my novel today. Thankfully, Xiaoshun helped me with that professional massage. I feel much better now. I learned professional massage techniques thanks to the blessing of the benevolence root of the celestial being. I never thought they would be so effective. The TV screen displays an announcement. Next up, major news. The capital prodigy has achieved a new height of glory. At the age of 10, he successfully fused a heteromorphic beast gene and was able to lift a 1,000-pound boulder with just one hand. Zishan stared blankly at the TV screen. He's already started the gene fusion process? Yin Sheng walked in from the door, drying his hair, and sighed dismissively. The capital prodigy again? He sure loves the spotlight. Is this just a stunt to gain influence and then make money selling products? They're a millennium-old martial arts powerhouse in the capital. After all, maybe they possess some advanced gene fusion technology. Wei-Yin argued, but they can't use their own child as a test subject, right? Yin Sheng meticulously explained, for a true martial arts family, sacrificing personal interest for the sake of the clan is the ultimate rule, the kingly way. Otherwise, they wouldn't remain a powerful lineage. Wei-Yin was quickly persuaded. All right, you're the expert. While the two of them were engaged in this heated debate, Zishan stood aside, deep in thought. The capital prodigy could only lift 100 kilograms with one hand before the fusion. Now, he can lift 500 kilograms, a 5-fold increase. But I could lift 300 kilograms with one hand when I was only 8, and I haven't even fused a gene yet. It looks like my potential is still greater. Initially, thinking this way filled me with confidence about the future. But it wasn't until the next news report that I truly understood what it felt like to be overwhelmed by fear. The TV screen flashed another new announcement. Following this is breaking news. A serious attack by heteromorphic beasts has occurred in a neighboring country. According to footage recorded by witnesses, the attack involved a species of gigantic, mutated rats. On screen, a beautiful woman was being attacked by the monster, which was trying to bite her. The woman was terrified, screaming repeatedly, "Help me! Someone, please help me!" But the moment her words ended, the monster decisively snapped its jaws shut. Bright red plasma sprayed outward. The gigantic monster opened its mouth wide, preparing to swallow the woman whole. The man giving the public address stated, "Following investigation, we have discovered that heretic elements were behind this attack by the mutated rats." He gestured firmly. I sincerely hope that all nations will support our Manhwa nation and work together to eliminate these heretics. Back to Zishan. He was stroking his chin, contemplating. The so-called heretics are fundamentally an anti-human organization formed by traitors. For their own gain, they willingly become the hunting dogs of the heteromorphic beasts and carry out attacks on the human world. Fortunately, I was born in a powerful nation with a relatively stable environment, allowing me to continue developing and growing. After a moment of thought, his eyes suddenly widened as he realized something. A tremendous sound erupted from outside, startling Zishan and his parents. A loud explosion came from beyond the window. His legs moved swiftly as he rushed out to investigate. Zishan pulled back the curtain. The night sky, glittering with countless stars, was revealed. Suddenly, many people were flying rapidly across the sky. Why are so many government mechanized reformers flying over right now? I hope nothing bad has happened. The next morning, when the sky was bright and clear, Zishan stopped to urge Qin Han, "Hurry up. We're going to be late." She rushed up to him and replied, "Sorry to keep you waiting." At that moment, he suddenly froze. His gaze halted, staring blankly. Zishan picked up the object. "Henin, your beast fang is glowing." Qin Han looked over, bewildered. Oh wow, it really is. Zishan pondered. Could this be the tooth of an exotic beast? He mentally confirmed his suspicion. No wonder that white object had such an unnatural aura. The source of that energy must definitely be this fawn. The glow from the tooth only lasted a second, so we didn't have time to study it further. But the gathering of those mechanical beings last night, combined with the strange anomaly of this exotic beast fawn, makes me feel like something terrible is about to happen. As the two of them walked along the street towards school, they briefly passed a woman smoking and leaning against a utility pole. The redhead waited for the two children to pass, then murmured casually, "That kid is cute." Then she stepped right out and asked them directly, "Are you two siblings? Brother and sister, or two sisters?" Ching-Han quickly and cheerfully replied, "We're not actual siblings. We're childhood friends, been inseparable since we were little, and best friends too." The woman joined in. "Childhood friends, huh? Wow, that's so sweet. You guys make me jealous. I wish I had a childhood friend like that." "Hey now, you kids are walking to school all alone? Where are your parents?" Ching-Han hesitated, about to answer. "My parents," that Zishun, losing his patience, grabbed her hand and cut her off. "Don't talk to her anymore." He urged her. "We're going to be late. Hurry up." After they arrived at school, Zishun quietly warned his friend. "From now on, don't answer questions from strangers, all right? Did you get that?" Ching-Han obediently replied, "I got it." School was over. As evening twilight set in, the setting sun bathed the world in a golden light. As they reached the entrance of a small alley, Ching-Han voiced her worry. "Xiaoshun, this alley is way too quiet. It feels really creepy and gloomy." Zishun calmly explained, "This place is slated for demolition next week. All the residents have moved out. That's why it's so silent." Just as he finished speaking, the redhead woman stepped out. "Well, hello there, kids. You two finally finished school, did you?" She smirked and called out, "Brother Sheng, you can stop looking. The little ones are right here with me." The moment Zishun saw her, he pulled Ching-Han behind him, shielding her with his body. "It's her? I specifically took Han-In home using a different route than this morning. I can't believe she still managed to track us down." The redhead, expertly holding her cigarette, sweetly invited them. "Hey kids, I have lots of delicious snacks at my place. Want to come over and hang out with me?" The bald man grumbled dismissively. That idiot is just wasting time. He lost patience and charged straight toward them, roaring, "Just knock them out cold and haul them away. That'll finish this quickly. I need to hurry up and sell them for money." Zishun didn't flinch, instantly adopting a ready stance. Then he decisively drove his fist straight forward, launching his attack. His punch landed squarely on the bald man's chest, causing him to cough up blood. He was then sent flying straight back, slamming against the wall behind them. The redhead froze, staring in stunned disbelief. Turning to look at the bald man, stuck against the wall, the redhead was utterly bewildered. "This is impossible. Totally ridiculous. How could a primary school kid punch a grown man like that?" Zishun didn't stop. He turned and continued his attack, delivering a decisive, powerful punch that snapped the redhead's head sideways. Then his hand picked up a brick, and he moved straight toward the two unconscious strangers. "There are no cameras around here to prevent trouble down the line. It looks like I only have one choice. I have to deal with them permanently. I really don't want to do this, but if they tell anyone what happened today, my abilities will be exposed. At that point, my entire plan for survival and getting stronger will go completely up in smoke." The surrounding area suddenly shook violently, making Zishun look up in alarm. "What's going on? Why is there suddenly an earthquake?" "No, wait." The ground shook from the colossal footfall of a giant monster. The monster appeared right behind the two villains, its mouth wide open, letting out a ferocious roar. Zishun sharply recognized it. A giant mutated rat. The rat's giant maw opened wide, preparing to swallow the redhead who was still stunned from the punch. It snatched the woman directly into its mouth with zero effort. Then it picked up the bald man in one claw, preparing to make a meal of him too. Zishun realized with alarm. This is a major disaster. Ching-Han, who had watched the entire scene, was trembling uncontrollably and asked fearfully, "Xiaoshun, what is that thing?" He quickly picked her up. "It's a giant mutated rat," he answered calmly. "We need to run to safety right now." High above them, a mechanical cyborg quickly appeared. She rapidly descended toward the mutated rat. The resulting gale forced Zishun and Ching-Han to stop and look up. "It's a mechanical cyborg," he remarked approvingly. They arrived fast. The cyborg stopped, facing the monster, and raised her hand. A blinding light emanated from her palm, followed by the command, "Pulse energy." She opened her hand and decisively attacked forward with the technique, Stun Smoke. Pellet after pellet fired continuously and relentlessly at the mutated rat. Moments later, a massive explosion shook the entire area. A continuous barrage of explosive shells hammered the mutated rat. The rat was in too much pain to fight back. The continuous blasts left it only able to drool and open its mouth in agony. Following that, the mechanical cyborg delivered a clean slice straight into the mutated rat's neck. Back home, while watching TV, Zishun's thoughts drifted elsewhere. That cyborg girl. Her level isn't very high. She used stun pellets to weaken the mutated rat first. And even then, it took her 7 whole minutes of close combat to finish the fight. But giant mutant rats are truly formidable opponents. A fully grown one is over 3 meters long, and its biological classification reaches the common rank 5. I was lucky to escape that encounter yesterday. It looks like I really need to step up my training. Even though the threat of those mutant rats still looms, life quickly returned to normal. Soon after, Henin and I celebrated our 9th birthday. After making our wishes, we exchanged birthday gifts. Thanks to the blessing of the heavenly aptitude root, I taught myself how to carve a wooden hairpin overnight and gave it to Shun Qinghan. She beamed and said, "Thank you, Xiao Shun. This hairpin is absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much." In the blink of an eye, we graduated elementary school and stepped into middle school. I'm still a little excited thinking about it. I'm almost there. I'm about to earn the title of middle school overlord, and then I'll gain the biological trait, the strong prey on the weak. During the break, in preparation for achieving the title quicker and gaining even greater strength, I persisted in high-intensity training every single day. My power grew with every passing day. Finally, the day before the new school year began, my biological level successfully broke through to common rank 3. Many of my other physical attributes improved dramatically. I could lift 700 kilograms with one hand, jump vertically 4 meters, and sprint 100 meters in 6 seconds. I had no idea what level the capital city prodigy had reached now. Coincidentally, the night before the school year started, news about him was broadcast on TV. The 14-year-old prodigy from the capital, who fused with the giant Ant Gene, could easily lift a 2,000-kilogram alloy with just one hand. The giant Ant Gene boosts strength by at least 4 to 8 times. Calculating using the minimum, 4 times, that means his true strength is only 400 kilograms one-handed. Huh, I'm still stronger than him. I can't wait until I get to undergo my own gene fusion process. I'm really looking forward to it. The sky that day was incredibly clear and bright, the perfect start to my middle school career. Since I was the top elementary student in the city, the principals of all the premier schools were desperate to recruit me. Ultimately, I accepted the invitation from Shanghai Middle School, but only on the condition that Shun Qinghan could attend the same school and be placed in the same class as me. The principal and my homeroom teacher came to welcome me the moment I arrived, stressing that I needed to bring future honor to the school. After a few simple pleasantries, I found an excuse to slip away. "We're counting on you, Xiao Shun. Every competition relies on you. Go for it, you're the best." The principal has extremely high expectations. The real reason I needed to leave was that Shanghai Middle School had excellent sports facilities. So before classes officially began, Henin and I agreed to meet for a game of badminton. At the court, Qinghan held the shuttlecock and called out, "Xiao Shun, ready to start?" She sharply struck the shuttlecock forward. "Take this fairy arc shot." But instead of flying toward a racket, the shuttlecock flew straight into someone else's hand. The young man in the cap swaggered forward with his racket and asked in a low voice, "You two must be new here, right? This court is reserved for a special senior class event." 2 other guys with sleazy looks sidled up behind him. "The little sister can stay, though. We could take turns helping you practice your skills." Yeah. If you don't know how to hit, we can guide you step by step." Qinghan wasn't afraid. "Even if you're older, you still have to follow the rules, right? We were here first." Xiao Shun, who had been silent, finally spoke. "Get away from her. Furthermore, the rule is first come, first served." "I shouldn't need to explain that, should I?" The arrogant leader in the cap scoffed. "Who says there's a rule like that? Even if the king of the gods himself showed up first, I'd still take this spot." Xiao Shun held the shuttlecock in his hand, his voice hard and steady. "Listen closely." He bounced the shuttlecock on his palm and continued. "From this moment on, my rules are the only rules." Finishing his statement, Xiao Shun hit the shuttlecock with immense force, sending it shooting forward at blinding speed. The force was so great that when the shuttlecock ripped past the cap wearer's racket, the net instantly tore open, followed by his cap. Snot streamed down his face from pure terror. That was impossibly fast. Is that even a human being? His henchman was equally terrified. Could he be a gene fusion user? No, he can't be that young. The glasses-wearing guy gaped, realizing if he had missed the racket, the boss's head would have exploded. Having received such a brutal lesson, the 3 men immediately understood and apologized with bowed heads. They spoke in unison, "Our apologies. We understand the rules now. We'll be going. Please, you two take your time and enjoy your game." The news must have spread quickly, as no one else tried to bully us in middle school. School life was essentially the same as elementary school, just bigger and with better facilities. And just like that, I proceeded through middle school. During class, I primarily focused on reading extracurricular books that genuinely interested me. In the evenings, after completing my physical training, I learned many new skills from the internet, all thanks to the blessing of the heavenly aptitude root. I gradually mastered cooking, photography, driving, swimming, wilderness survival, and various other sport skills. To quickly secure the middle school overlord title, I didn't just rank first in all academic subjects. I also represented the school in numerous national middle school competitions. I won gold, silver, and bronze medals in math, physics, chemistry, and computer programming. I didn't dare win gold in everything. I had to maintain some modesty. A semester passed in the blink of an eye. I was surprised the title still hadn't activated. However, thanks to my outstanding performance, I gained quite a following of admirers. But I didn't pay them any mind. Aside from tutoring Shun Qinghan, all my attention was focused on the school's upcoming sports meet. If I dominate the school sports meet, I should definitely secure the middle school overlord title, shouldn't I? For this sports meet, I only focus on shot put, high jump, and sprinting events. These 3 core events represent strength, vertical power, and speed. To dominate all 3 categories means dominating every single aspect of athletics. Although I was incredibly cautious during the competition to avoid exposing too much of my capability, winning first place was still relatively easy. At that moment, I felt a surging power emit from deep within my body. The middle school overlord title had finally lit up. The strong prey on the weak. My life origin is superior to all other life forms. I can only advance my own evolution by devouring the life origin of other living beings. To propel my own evolution. What exactly does life origin refer to? Henin ran up behind him. Xiaoshun, wait up. Suddenly, his eyes widened as he remembered something. Wait a minute. Xiaoshun looked over and asked, Henin, can I borrow your beast tooth for a moment? She handed it over without hesitation. Here you go. Xiaoshun's eyes widened in shock. He stared dumbfounded at the item in his palm. This thing was actually a butterfly's tooth. That evening, Xiaoshun went straight to the computer to look it up. Now that I finally know the name of this mutant beast, maybe I can find some information about it online. But the words displayed on the screen left him utterly disappointed. It turned out there was absolutely nothing. Not satisfied with that outcome, he went back to searching through his bag. It looks like the only way I'm going to understand this exotic beast is by figuring it out myself. Zishin picked up the tooth, examining it. I found it. Thank goodness, Bai Shui gave me a spare one back then. He squeezed it tight, ready to assimilate a thread of its vital essence. But all Zishin felt was a second wave of disappointment. Only 2%. Seems like there's not much residual life left in these old bones. If I want to fully unlock this ability, I'll have to try something else. The next day, after school was dismissed. In an effort to intensify his physical training, he started riding his bicycle, taking Qinghan with him every day. This way, if that colossal mutant rat showed up again, he could quickly get her to safety. As he was cruising along, he heard someone call out behind him, Student Zishin. It was Teacher Gua, who immediately introduced himself. I am Teacher Gua, the coach for the school's martial arts team. Your performance during the sports meet was the single best achievement in our school's entire history. His face was beaming with excitement. That's why I want to formally invite you to join our school's martial arts club. Gua leaned in conspiratorially. Your physical potential, your athletic talent, it's even better than your academic aptitude. So please just say yes. Of course, you can always research the martial arts team before making your final decision. Zishin reluctantly started riding away. Coach Gua spoke so fast, I didn't even have a chance to refuse. Meanwhile, Gua was overjoyed. Room C in the school gym is our base of operations. If you're free tomorrow, make sure you stop by. I'll be waiting for you. The sun sank below the horizon, marking the close of a long day. But in one corner of a dimly lit room, a pair of hands clapped together, sharp and decisive. Zishin looked down at the fly corpse in his hand, deep in thought. The snakes and mosquitoes I killed earlier didn't trigger the survival, might over weakness skill. It looks like only powerful exotic beasts possess enough core life origin for me to devour. Finally, he grabbed his usual phone. With that, Zishin mounted his bicycle and sped off. He cycled with Qinghan riding pillion, mulling things over. To test this theory, I should probably check the exotic meat market at the mall first and see what they're selling. Before long, they arrived at the supermarket in the city center. Zishin picked up several trays of meat, examining them closely. There's plenty of exotic meat here, but every single cut is vacuum sealed. I can't verify my hypothesis without making physical contact. Suddenly, a staff member's voice pulled his focus. Fresh cuts now available. Come and pick out what you want. Zishin's eyes immediately landed on the meat counter. Yes, the butcher is slicing the meat right over there. He quickly walked toward it. Qinghan, wait here for me. I'm just going to check out that cut of meat over there, okay? With eyes sparkling like stars, Zishin dashed toward the counter. Qinghan probably thinks this is gross, but I need to confirm my theory as soon as possible, so I can't stop to explain. His hand trembled slightly as he reached out. The moment of truth is finally here. The instant he made contact, Zishin felt a vibrant surge of power. I knew it. My guess was absolutely correct. Exotic meat truly contains a rich and abundant vital essence. Qinghan watched the whole scene, completely bewildered. Zishin, are you all right? You only touched the mutant meat. Why are you acting so pumped up? Her face was stiff with curiosity as she asked, Zishin, what does that exotic meat feel like? Is it any different from regular meat? He dropped the meat back into the tray. No difference, really. Just feels extremely fresh. Do you want to try touching it? Qinghan frantically waved him off. Oh no, that's quite all right. You touching it is enough. Zishin turned around, satisfied. Well, since we came all this way, let's buy some to try it out. He browsed the counter, struck by the exorbitant prices. I don't blame Qinghan for looking stunned. Exotic meat is seriously expensive. Even the cheapest cut, the ghost shadow squid, is nearly 1,000 yuan per kilogram. Zishin grabbed a tray and lifted it. We'll take this one this time. Ghost shadow squid. Qinghan broke out in a cold sweat, worried. Zishin, that's incredibly expensive. Shouldn't you at least check the price before you decide to just buy it? He gently patted her head to reassure her. Relax. Zishin leaned in, speaking reassuringly. My mom told me earlier to go ahead and buy a good amount. Wants voice. If you're already getting some exotic meat, grab a few extra kilos, sweetie. And tell Qinghan to come over and have dinner with us to try it out. I'll transfer the money to you later. He pointed excitedly at the tray of tentacles. She's going to prepare a huge exotic meat feast for both our families. Aside from sharing, Zishin had another, more crucial reason for the purchase. He was worried that directly absorbing the vital essence might instantly spoil or degrade the meat. This was just a hypothesis, so Zishin needed to test it on this purchase cut. The cashier's voice cut in. That'll be 3 kilos of ghost shadow squid. The total comes to 2,994 yuan. Thank you for shopping with us. See you next time. Zishin turned away, feeling heartache and wallet ache simultaneously. Damn, when will I ever be able to afford this again? By the time they finished buying the meat, it was past 9 in the evening. Given the current unstable situation, heading home early was safer, so they rode straight back. But Zishin was too impatient to wait and stretched out his hand. We're on the street, but I need to verify my hunch right now. Time to see the magic happen. Zishin gently tapped the squid tentacle. Instantly, a notification appeared. You have assimilated a fraction of the ghost shadow squid's vital essence. The ghost shadow squid icon materialized, showing 0.1% progress. And with that, Zishin rapidly pedaled for home. He kept pedaling, his mind racing. Devouring just 100 grams of the ghost shadow squid's vital essence only progressed the icon by 0.1%. To hit 100%, I need to assimilate 100 kilos. At 998 yuan per kilo, that comes out to about 100,000 yuan. An image of the ghost shadow squid flashed through Zishin's mind. Its ability is to dissolve and vanish in water. If I can unlock that, 100,000 yuan is definitely worth the investment. And this is the cheapest meat I can even buy. He silently finalized his decision. Okay, I've decided. My next step has to be figuring out how to earn some serious cash. This is a huge sum. I can't ask my parents for it. Zishin suddenly widened his eyes. Right? I totally forgot. The whole point of buying the meat was to test whether the cut spoils after I absorb its vital essence. He looked down at the shimmering meat in the basket. It's been sitting there for a bit now, so I should be able to see a result. Zishin reached out and made contact. Phew, it looks like absorbing the vital essence doesn't actually spoil the meat. Perfect. Notification. Ghost shadow squid progress. 3%. Suddenly, Qinghan shouted, Zishin, look out. There are people right in front of us. Thankfully, he slammed the brakes just in time. The tires screeched against the pavement, leaving a plume of white smoke. Zishin stared at the 2 people ahead, his mouth moving rapidly. I'm so sorry. I'm truly sorry. He scratched his head, embarrassed. I was so focused on absorbing the vital essence that I completely forgot to watch the road. Wait, why is the bike lane so packed? Suddenly, Qinghan pointed ahead. Xiao Shun, look over there. Her sharp eyes spotted her. It's Miss Chowberry. That redhead is holding her hostage with a weapon. Don't you dare come closer. If you take another step, I'll kill her. On the opposite side, Chun Shan and his team were surrounding them. You've been surrounded. Calm down and lower your weapon. Then he turned and gave the order. Hey Bing, don't shoot randomly. We're too close, and this guy's a professional. He's using her heart as cover and moving constantly. Shooting recklessly will only injure the hostage. He's gripping the gun tightly. But Captain, if we draw this out, the hostage will be in danger. Should we try using the hypnotic gas? Chun Shan's face became serious. No, the hypnotic gas is too obvious. If it pisses him off before it takes effect, it could easily lead to an extreme reaction. However, Zishin, who was standing behind them, had already silently picked up a small stone. Then he threw it with force, rocketing past the faces of the 2. And the stone hit the redhead's weapon-holding hand, making him drop his guard and release Chowberry in agony. Chun Shan immediately ordered his team. This is the moment. Consequently, the redhead was pinned tightly to the ground. Elsewhere, Qinghan asked suspiciously, Xiao Shun, was that stone yours? But he signaled for silence. Quick, let's go. We'll talk when we get back. They had quietly walked 3 steps when Chun Shan spotted them. Stop right there, students. Did you throw that stone just now? Zishin quickly got on his bike, waving frantically. It wasn't me. He watched the two of them run away in a panic, perplexed. That's weird. Why would someone do a good deed and then refuse to admit it? Then Chun Shan tossed the stone away. There's a cash reward for acts of courage. That sentence suddenly reached Zishin's ears, making him stop dead in his tracks. Like a gust of wind, he spun around and stopped right in front of the officer. A reward? Zishin scratched his head awkwardly. I suddenly remembered something. I was the one who threw that stone. I don't want to do this, but money is too important to me. Qinghan ran up behind him, calling out, Xiao Shun, why did you run back again? Wait up. Come back with me to file a report first. Then I'll help you collect the reward money. After he and the girl informed their families that they would be going to the police station for a statement, they parked and locked their bicycles in the park. They prepared to get into the security vehicle headed to the police station to receive Zishin's first paycheck. Predictably, the redhead suspect was already being escorted to the station. However, the unexpected struck. The redhead's entire body began to change. The police officers were utterly terrified. We're in danger. He's a heretic cultist. He's showing mutation signs and transforming into a giant rat. He immediately lunged, knocking a female police officer to the ground. Seeing this, Chun Shan ordered his team, all security staff, concentrate fire on the mutated rat, but focus on protecting the citizens. He grabbed the radio to report the urgent situation, calling headquarters. A giant mutated rat has appeared in the park at Northwest Jiang Road. Initial assessment is that he's a heretic carrying the rat king gene. We cannot deal with this. We need immediate reinforcements. Zishin swiftly put one arm around Chouberry. Damn it. He held Qinghan tightly with his other hand. And then Zishin carried them and fled. Sorry about this, both of you. But right now, the most crucial thing is to get away. He glanced back while running. Good thing it's not following us. We need to move a little faster. Suddenly, an unfamiliar girl zoomed past Zishin above his head. What the? A mechanized reformer. She lunged, delivering a kick directly to the giant rat's face. He was caught completely off guard and went sliding backward. Then the mechanized reformer removed the two armored packs from her chest. Laser cannons charging. After that, she fired a powerful shot toward him. Fire. The giant rat's face was instantly deformed. And before he could even breathe, he vanished into the void. Zishin's eyes widened in amazement. That's seriously strong. Because he needed the money, his hand was still firmly holding his bicycle. Thank goodness she didn't blow up my bike. Otherwise, the damage would have been huge. I can't afford to lose this. Chouberry sighed in relief. That was great. We were saved. Qinghan beside him was also happy. Yes. Suddenly, Zishin saw something. Wait a minute. He looked at the piece of grilled squid tentacle, which was rapidly turning a dark color. The beast meat is corrupted. Zishin picked it up, frustrated. It looks like the meat still spoils after absorbing the vital essence, only slower. I need an explanation for why this meat is ruined. I guess the only solution is to make that heretic cultist take the blame. Then he angrily threw it down. This is all the fault of that heretic. That mecha-human's attack was too powerful. It must have scorched the meat, right? Seeing this, Qinghan quickly reassured him. It's okay, Xiaoxin. We should be thankful we are safe. They initially wanted to head home, but at the captain's request, all three took the security team's vehicle back to the police station to cooperate with the paperwork. Unexpectedly, the corpse of the heretic, which had been hit by the laser cannon, still had some completely scorched remnants, and the smell was incredibly stimulating. Zishin's eyes looked strange as he stared at it. That's right. The rat fawn from before still contained a bit of vital essence. So that means there's still some left in the corpse itself. Doesn't that mean I can absorb the rat king gene from the body? Score. Zishin stealthily extended his hand. How much rat king gene can a new heretic cultist offer up, after all? I won't know until I try. A pink stream of energy slowly infiltrated his hands. Suddenly, Zishin's eyes snapped wide. The notification he received surprised him. That much. It seems that the level of freshness is directly proportional to the amount of life essence I can absorb. The guard noticed the strange movement and spoke up curiously. Hey, student. Sit still and hold tight. Okay? Stop fidgeting. Zishin quickly waved his hand. Oh, don't worry, officer. I'm just stretching my legs. I've been sitting for too long. The guard seemed easily fooled, but the security captain was much sharper. Back at the security office, Xianshan interrogated him relentlessly. I've already submitted your application for the Bravery Award. But please be honest with me. At that distance, in that dim light, how could a high school student like you possibly throw a rock precisely at the handle of that cultist knife? Zishin quickly offered a casual reply. Maybe it's because I practice a lot, especially with my right hand. Seeing he wouldn't get any useful information, the old man stared intently at him. Suddenly, the door opened wide. Oihan appeared in the doorway. Zishin, come on, we're going home. Zishin turned around, surprised. Mom, why are you here? We could have gotten home ourselves. Oihan rushed forward, grabbing Zishin and hugging him, sobbing. Zishin, are you okay? You scare me half to death. Zishin quickly calmed her. Mom, don't get so worked up. See, I'm fine. And I even got a reward for bravery. Oihan clutched Zishin's hand. Zishin, promise me that if you ever run into danger again, you'll hide somewhere safe first, okay? Because I only want to see you grow up safely and peacefully. Zishin looped his arm through hers, pulling her away. Don't worry, Mom. I promise I'll protect myself first. As they left, the voice of a red-haired female officer caught his attention. These rat god cultists are getting more brazen every day. The blonde female officer sighed wearily. Now, they're even infiltrating colleges and universities, mainly to trick liberal arts students who haven't yet qualified for gene fusion. Also, she added, the person who was shot tonight was a liberal arts student from Guangyan University who got seduced by the rat god cult. The blonde officer cursed angrily. Damn it, we have to drag every single one of these cult rats out and arrest them. This is only a temporary fix. It doesn't solve the root problem. We still have to eliminate the Rat King, the one who calls himself a god. Just hearing that, Zishin grasped the core issue, the Rat King. So he picked up his phone and looked it up. There was quite a bit of information about the rat god cult online. Just as Zishin suspected, the rat god cult's headquarters was located in Shanghai City. Most of the followers were societal failures. Had their activities really ramped up this year? He sat in the car, engrossed in his phone and deep in thought. Suddenly, Zishin's eyes widened in astonishment, because he had just received an incredibly important piece of news. The Rat King wanted to evolve into a higher-level organism, which is why he had his followers collecting massive amounts of evolutionary resources for him. His face turned stunned. Wait, has this Rat King evolved consciousness? Zishin then craned his neck to look at two creatures by the side of the road. Giant mutant rats. Why are they so huge? Could it be related to the Rat King? But then he rubbed his head, sighing internally to calm himself down. Forget it. This is the South. Rats the size of cats are totally normal. Zishin looked over at the worried Tanham. Wait, why is Han-In so quiet? He noticed her trembling legs. Is it that kind of situation again? Zishin pictured her discomfort in his mind. Whenever Han-In suddenly gets anxious or encounters an emergency, it's just like when she was little. She can't suppress it. The car moved, carrying his vague thoughts. But I always feel like her condition might be connected to some unknown potential. When they got home, Oihan was shocked by the news. What? The meat is gone? Zishin scratched his head awkwardly. Things were pretty urgent back then. I didn't pay attention. I think I lost it, Mom. She sighed and placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. Oh, well, forget about it. As long as you're safe, that's what matters. If the meat is gone, it's gone. He suddenly felt a weight lift from his heart. Phew, that was close. I managed to gloss over it. Suddenly, Zishin's voice grew urgent. Dad, it's too dangerous, Dad. It's not safe over there. Gonson gently reassured him. Don't worry, son. I was born to be a construction worker. My life is tough. Zishin grabbed his hand tightly to stop him. Even if you did find the meat, it would be spoiled by now, Dad. Gonson asked curiously, how do you know? Zishin looked slightly guilty. Obviously, I'm just guessing. Switching back to the security office, Xianshan was alone, smoking a cigarette. How could a high school student throw a rock with that much force? Suddenly, his face twisted in shock, because right in front of Xianshan was a colossal creature standing on top of the cabinet. WH, where did this rat come from? And it's this big. Zishin was sitting in class with his classmates, but his mind was wandering. He was writing notes, but his mind was focused elsewhere. Compared to that rat mutant and the robot girl last night, I'm still too weak. Looks like I need to make money fast to fill the progress bar and unlock a new shadow manifestation. But relying only on scholarships from internal and external competitions is too slow. Zishin then imagined different routes. Become a famous online academic genius, selling study guides directly? No, that would be fast money, but it would make me too noticeable. Wait, I'm thinking about this all wrong. He quickly refocused his train of thought. This world is full of gene fusionists and mechanical modifiers. Studying martial arts is better than studying humanities. The prize money for martial arts competitions is much higher than for other subjects. It looks like it's time to make a move. Everyone was gathered in the school gym's training room. Coach Gu was blowing on a cup of warm water in his hand to cool it down. Zishin quickly ran over to greet him, making the coach jump and spit out his water. Hello, Coach Gu. Gu quickly wiped his face and turned to shake Zishin's hand firmly. Do you want to join immediately, or just learn more about the martial arts team first? Zishin immediately leaned in, covering his mouth to whisper, I need to know if joining the martial arts team will give me the chance to enter the city-level competitions, and how high the prize money is. Gu confidently raised a finger, his tone full of wisdom. Of course there's a chance. What's more, the prize money is anything but low. The smaller awards start at tens of thousands. Zishin immediately grasped the coach's hand, looking completely convinced. Coach, I've thought this through. Starting today, I officially want to join the martial arts team. Gu accepted him happily. Welcome aboard. He raised his hand high and shouted to gather everyone. Listen up, everyone. We have a new member joining us today. I believe everyone here is already familiar with Lin Zixin. Today, our school's athletics champion is joining our martial arts team. Now, why don't you all introduce yourselves? Zhang Kai crossed his arms and spoke first. My name is Zhang Kai. Make sure you remember it. Huang Tianxing waved lightly. I'm Huang Tianxing, Class 3, Grade 9. You can just call me Xing Li Shutong scratched his head shyly. My name is Li Shutong, Class 6, Grade 9. Everyone calls me Little Li. I kind of like that name. Han Yishua confidently poked a hand into his pocket and said, My name is Han Yishua. Just call me Brother Shua. Then Zixin gave a cheerful smile and introduced himself. I'm Lin Zixin. Please look after me. Since Zixin had zero martial arts experience, Master was started by demonstrating the basic techniques for punching and kicking. He wiped sweat. I put a lot of effort into that. Don't look down on these simple movements. They're actually quite difficult. Even Little Li, the quickest learner on the team, took a full week to master them. All right, your turn. Show me what you've got. Zixin quickly drew one leg up and repeated the exact hand movements. Utilizing his innate talent, he perfectly replicated every skill and move that Gua had just demonstrated. Biological attribute system displayed. You are currently practicing fist arts. You are currently practicing. Simultaneously, Zixin executed every single movement with the exact same precision as Gua. Gua's face went blank. His jaw dropped. No way. That's absolutely impossible. The other martial arts team members froze solid watching him. How could he possibly learn that just by watching once? Gua's eyes shone bright with intensity. Unless he's a martial arts prodigy, a talent seen only once in 1,000 people. That evening, Zixin returned home to his mother. Wei Xin raised the serving spoon and called out loudly, Xiaoxin, come grab the bowls and chopsticks. Dinner is ready. Rushing over, I'm coming. What are we having tonight, Mom? She presented his favorite dish. My son, of course, it's the ghosting squid you're always dreaming about. Sniffing deeply, it smells so good. Wei Xin smiles and urges him. Stop sniffing and eat it while it's hot. Hurry up and try some. He quickly scooped up a spoonful, shoved it into his mouth, and began chewing. Wei Xin leaned in, waiting for his critique. How is the flavor? Eyes crinkling with a smile. The food Mom cooks is truly the best in the world. She happily pats his head. Then you must eat more. I bought 3 whole pounds. The attribute system quickly appeared. You have devoured a trace of the life essence from the ghosting squid. Wait, I can devour essence just by eating it directly? If I had known that, I wouldn't have touched it. Later, the mother and son watched a broadcast on TV. National shock. The genius girl. At the age of 14, she successfully fused with an energy core, becoming the youngest mechanized human in history. When the energy core is activated, she can effortlessly lift a 2,000-kilogram off-road vehicle with one hand, sprint 100 meters in just 3 seconds, and perform an 8-meter vertical jump from standstill. He propped his chin up, deep in thought. The capital's prodigy from back then, and now this genius girl. Who will be stronger in the end? A gene fusion user or a mechanized user? The TV screen shifted to another report. Sad news. Security Captain Ha Chunshan passed away in his office at 11 o'clock last night. According to surveillance footage, he was killed by a giant rat that snuck into the security office. Zixin froze, his face turning pale as he remembered. Was that the giant rat from last night? No, I need to make the most of my time. I have to train harder. Narrative transition. After a period of dedicated practice, Zixin's 100-meter sprint speed reached 4.61 seconds. His vertical leap reached 5.51 meters, and he could lift objects weighing about 1,000 kilograms with a single arm. Zixin was also relentless in his martial arts practice, hoping to improve his strength as quickly as possible in preparation for the upcoming martial arts competitions. The next morning, he headed to the training hall to continue learning new martial arts techniques and practicing. Out of curiosity, Han went along with Zixin. The pink-haired senior blocked his path. Junior Zixin, you haven't had breakfast yet, have you? She gently held out an item. I brought you some milk. It's fresh milk. Zixin quickly moved past, but thanked her. No need. Thank you for the kind thought, senior. Zhang Kai watched, seething. Damn it. This punk stole the championship from me during the school sports competition, and now he's rejecting a gift from my goddess. He quickly blocked the way. Hold it. Don't you know anything about manners? If you don't want to drink it, you should still accept it and give it to someone else. Like me, for example. Why do you have to hurt someone's feelings like that, huh? Zixin met his glare, unflinching, and questioned him back. Wouldn't doing that be even more rude? Zhang Kai, stumbling for a reason, stammered, Zixin, drink it all. Not drinking it means you're disrespecting her, and disrespect is rude. Zixin countered calmly, but I'm allergic to milk. Zhang Kai looked flustered. I don't believe you. Lin Zixin, do you dare to fight me? If I lose, I swear I'll never speak a word to you again. But if I win, you have to drink all that milk. The system panel quickly appeared. Achievement. He looked up excitedly, anticipation clear on his face. I've been waiting forever. I finally got the 4th achievement quest. Then Zixin mustered his strength and challenged him back. All right, let's fight then. Just then, the pink and purple-haired girls gathered, whispering excitedly. I heard Lin Zishin is going to fight a senior here in the gym. Let's hurry over and watch. Everyone quickly surrounded them, forming a circle in the gym hall. The purple-haired girl yelled out, blushing, Junior Zishin, I'll be cheering for you later. Teach him a lesson. The pink-haired girl quickly got her phone out, smiling brightly as she cheered. Go, Junior Zishin. I'll take lots of beautiful pictures of you. Zhang Kai was annoyed by the noisy fans. Do they all think I'm going to lose? I must use this chance to teach this immature, genius junior a lesson. Even though I'm bullying someone younger, this kid's talent has skyrocketed in just 1 month. If I don't move now, I won't have a chance to show him up later. Zishin leaned on his crutch and said loudly, sounding irritated, I still have to go home to eat. Can we make this a quick fight? He curled his lip into a sneer. I'll satisfy you. Gu raised his hand high, then brought it down, signaling the start. Remember, friendship first, everything else is secondary. Begin. Zhang Kai lowered his head and shouted, wait a minute. You've only been studying for 1 month, while I've been practicing for nearly 2 years. For fairness, I'll let you take the first 3 moves. He held up 3 fingers. Zishin accepted nonchalantly. Sounds good. The moment the words left his mouth, Zishin lunged forward, his fist already flying, instantly freezing Zhang Kai in place. Zishin switched hands, driving a powerfully heavy punch forward. Zhang Kai's face was instantly contorted, blood gushing from his nose. He quickly collapsed, lying motionless on the ground, foaming at the mouth. Coach Gu stood watching, jaw slack. What the? Just 1 punch. The rest of the martial arts team gasped in unison at the display of power. Holy crap, that's completely absurd. It just ended like that? Shen Xinghan swiftly raised his hands and cheered. He won. Death God won. Pink hair and purple hair jumped for joy. Our junior Death God is so hot. System notification. You have defeated your opponent and captured the hearts of the opposite sex. You have earned priority in choosing a suitable mate. Opponent elimination tally, 1/1000. I still need to eliminate 999 more opponents to unlock the natural selection attribute. He scratched his head, turning to the others. Hey, senior brothers, why don't we use this chance to practice a little? The martial arts team members stared wide-eyed at Death God in horror. They quickly scattered, citing ridiculous excuses. I just remembered I have extra tutoring today. My mom told me to get home early for dinner. I gotta take a huge dump. I'll go with you. Me too. Let me join. Suddenly, I feel dizzy. I'll escort you to the nurse's office. Zhang Kai clung to his stomach, scrambling up with a deathly pale face. I'm not done yet. You little shit, you sucker punch me. If you try that again, I swear I'll kill you. Coach Gu quickly walked over to lecture Zhang Kai. You need to accept the loss. Was Death God's punch just a lucky break, or a genuine display of power? Let's have Little Lee test him. Then we'll know for sure. Then he decided to call upon another disciple for the experiment. Little Lee, get in there. The disciple quickly took his stance, though his face was visibly fearful. My apologies, junior brother. Please, just don't hit my face. All right, junior brother. 10 minutes later, Death God, trying not to be too showy, had deliberately exchanged a few light moves with his senior brothers. But apart from the progress achieved by defeating Zhang Kai, none of the other losses registered as progress. The system panel appeared. Achievement: eliminate 1,000 different opponents in a formal match using the most primitive biological methods. Reward: unlock the biological attribute, natural selection. Total opponents eliminated: 1/1000. So friendly sparring is useless. I'm still required to defeat them directly. Coach Gu suddenly placed a hand on his shoulder, wearing a dark smile. You're a genius, Death God. A true genius. You've only been on the team for a little over a month, yet you've already become our ace. In this year's district-level martial arts competition, our Shanghai Middle School will definitely sweep the floor and take the district championship. Upon hearing this, Zishin immediately realized, wait, that's right. If I participate in a martial arts tournament, I can defeat a bunch of opponents directly. As long as I successfully defeat opponents in the matches, that will absolutely advance my mission progress. Just as he was calculating his plan, Zhang Kai's voice roared. Lin Zishin. His face was battered, but Zhang Kai held up a challenging hand. Zhang Kai, accept this defeat. From now on, even if you take a dump right on my head, I won't say a single word to you. Everyone who heard that was instantly horrified, their faces turning green. Everyone immediately took off running, leaving a bewildered Zhang Kai sputtering. Hey, wait up. I wasn't finished. In this world, high school students primarily focus on either martial arts or fine arts, with martial arts naturally being the foremost choice. Shen Xinghan chased after him, calling out, Little Shun, wait for me. Keep going. I'm almost catching up. In order to qualify for the martial arts class, Shen Xinghan had begun training alongside Death God. After running 3,000 meters, they followed up with an hour of martial arts practice to hone their striking techniques. Following that, they performed sit-ups and push-ups to enhance their physical strength and stamina. After every training session, Death God would help Shun Qingha massage and soothe his muscles. But in preparation for the upcoming martial arts tournament, he couldn't afford to get complacent. To activate the natural selection attribute as quickly as possible, Death God had to push himself to the absolute limit. 1 month later, the day of the competition finally arrived. Right now, crowds of people were packed into the city stadium. In the competitors' lounge, Coach Gua held a piece of paper, his face pale with fear. Our Shanghai Middle School is truly unfortunate. We drew Shanghai High School number 1, the strongest team in the bracket. Shodong looked sadly at the floor. High School number 1 has a wolf man this year. He can run the 100-meter sprint in under 9 seconds. We are definitely going to get completely demolished. Death God swiftly stepped forward and volunteered. Coach, I want to be first up. Coach Gua and the rest of the team stared at him in astonishment, asking carefully, are you sure you can handle that? All right, Death God, you'll go first. Behind them, Shun Qinghan and the others excitedly screamed encouragement. Little Shun, we're counting on you. I believe in you, little Shun. Go for it. As soon as the cheering ended, the opponent stomped his foot powerfully onto the arena floor as a show of intimidation. The opponent stood before Death God, hands on hips, radiating arrogance. Mountain Boy, I saw your file on a roster. You're just a freshman in middle school, yet you made it onto the 8 Schools Alliance stage. Not bad. You clearly have some talent. He tilted his head, smirking contemptuously. But this isn't the place for you. A middle school freshman who hasn't even hit 5 feet 6 inches. In a moment, I'm going to show you the difference between size and genuine strength. The referee blew the horn and yelled the command. Fight! Begin! The moment the match started, Big Mouth lunged forward quickly, his fist ready. He threw his punch, but Zishin quickly dodged, leaving Big Mouth completely bewildered. What the? Death God made no extra movements, simply placing his hand right in front of the opponent. Zishin instantly delivered a palm strike, sending Big Mouth flying far away, constantly spewing gore from his mouth. The referee's face was panicked, and his voice stuttered. Lin Zishin is the winner. Shun Qinghan cheered enthusiastically from the sidelines. Little Shun, you are absolutely incredible. The rest of the martial arts team cheered even louder, their spirits soaring. Zishan is on standby. But then, a heated argument erupted below the platform. What terrible movement! Absolutely rigid. No flexibility whatsoever. Coach Chun Feng's irritated shout drew everyone's attention. Footwork. It's all about the footwork. How many times do I have to drill this into you? When you're in the ring, don't just charge straight ahead. You need to utilize your footwork. Why won't you listen to me? System notification. You have successfully defeated an opponent. Your ranking in the competition has increased. Total opponents eliminated. 2 out of 1,000. Zishun clenched his fists, a surge of self-satisfaction rising up. Just as I suspected. Defeating opponents in a high-stakes competitive match drastically increases the Achievement Quest's progress bar. After ranting, the coach turned and snapped an order. Chun Feng, you're up. Get in there and knock that arrogant freshman off the stage. The faster the better. Chun Feng nodded grimly. Understood, coach. Chun Feng immediately took an aggressive fighting stance. The referee placed his hand down again and shouted the command. Fight! Chun Feng shot forward like the wind, launching a kick that whipped right past Zishun's face. Zishun ducked to evade the blow, refusing to back down, and instantly closed the gap, seizing the opening to deliver a palm strike. A painful torrent of snot sprayed from Chun Feng's nose as he was sent flying backward in a dizzying spiral. He crashed to the ground, a picture of humiliation. The referee rushed over, examined him, and barked an order. Get him to the hospital for a checkup now. Looks like he hit his head badly. What the hell is going on? How can that kid from Shanghai Junior High be so damn lucky? The last opponent lost because he stepped out of the ring himself. And now this. What kind of luck is that? Son of a bitch. This is definitely fixed. Refund the money. The coach wrung his hands, running them repeatedly through his hair. No, that's not right. This isn't luck at all. That Shanghai Junior High freshman. He has genuine power. He hesitated for a moment, then turned to suggest to Gao Fei. Gao Fei, you take the next round. Focus entirely on defense. Do not initiate an attack. Under no circumstances can we lose this. Gao Fei calmly stepped onto the stage, hands tucked into his pockets. Don't worry, coach. I'm going to win. Zishan isn't strong physically. He's just fast and good at exploiting openings. That's the only reason he won those matches so easily. I can clock 100 meters in 9 seconds, and my actual combat experience dwarfs his. As long as I take this seriously, there is absolutely no way I can lose. Judging by what you're saying, that Shanghai Junior High freshman is totally out of luck now. Come on, he's just a first year. Wait until he grows up. Shanghai Junior High is going to be the #1 school. The referee sternly shouted the command again. Fight! Gao Fei immediately leaped a great distance toward his opponent, his face set in a smug sneer. He unleashed the flowing water, shattering rock fist, attacking relentlessly, but Zishan dodged every blow as easily as eating cake. The coach outside furiously yelled a warning. Gao Fei, what are you doing? I told you to focus on defense. Why are you attacking? Gao Fei didn't reply, simply doubling down on his own opinion. Defense? I'm a genius. I don't need petty defense. But on the other side, Zishan started observing more closely. This fist technique is quite interesting. I'll observe it first, then try to imitate it. He started running out of steam, his energy visibly draining. Why can't I land a single blow on him? How are you dodging my attacks? This is impossible. Zishan stood perfectly straight, casually interrogating him. Do you have any other moves? Go ahead, use everything you've got. Hearing this infuriated Gao Fei even more, and he started wildly flailing punches. This is blatant mockery. Zishan commented indifferently before delivering the decisive blow. Same sloppy strikes as before. That's enough. Let's finish this. The audience watched, mouths agape in confusion, struck completely silent and unable to utter a single complaint. Teacher Gua and Shun Qinghan excitedly threw their hands up, cheering. You did great, little Shun. So strong. The other martial arts team disciples laughed and shouted their encouragement. Little Shun is the GOAT. He took down 3 people consecutively. This feeling of winning without even having to exert ourselves is incredible. And after that, the next opponents were even weaker than the last. Before long, Zishan had single-handedly dealt with all 5 participants from Shanghai Junior High School No. 1. Over the next 2 days, he defeated the remaining 2 schools entirely on his own, successfully earning Shanghai Junior High the championship title for the 8 schools federation tournament. System summary, total eliminations, 16 out of 1,000. Zishan gazed up, considering his next steps. 984 more opponents to go. It might genuinely take years to complete this natural selection objective. Even though the mission was a long-term goal, Zishan was surprised that Teacher Gua had given him the lion's share of the prize money, a full 20,000 yuan. Including the prize money Zishan had won from various academic competitions, he now had roughly 30,000 yuan in hand. However, that 30,000 yuan was very quickly spent by Zishan. Oihan cheerfully reminded her son, Slow down, little Shun. There's still plenty more. System notification, Shadow Ink Demon Diagram Activation Progress, 33%. Munching intensely, eating a full 30 kilograms of Shadow Ink Demon Squid meat pushed the diagram activation progress rate to 33%. By his second year of junior high, Zishan had successfully broken through from Ordinary Tier 3 to Ordinary Tier 4. Simultaneously, he could effortlessly lift 1,090 kilograms with one hand, jump vertically up to 5.65 meters, and sprint 100 meters in a mere 4.49 seconds. Time flew by. He and Shen Qinghan graduated from Shanghai Junior High. She sadly bowed her head, staring at the paper. Why? I studied so hard. But the results are, Little Shun, will we still be able to go to the same high school? The high school entrance exam results were released shortly after. Zishan dominated, ranking first in the district in both academics and martial arts. Qinghan's academics were excellent, but her martial arts score wasn't high enough to qualify for Shanghai High School's elite martial arts class. Zishan quickly came closer, wiping her tears away and comforting her. How should I know? But the principal of Shanghai High School said they want to visit my house. Do you want to come with me to meet them? Shen Qinghan sobbed and pouted. The principal is definitely coming to invite you to join Shanghai High School's top martial arts class. That has nothing to do with me, so why should I go? Zishan took her hand and started walking, giving a casual command. Don't worry. The only condition I set for staying at Shanghai High School is that I get to share a desk with you. Following that, the principal of Shanghai High School discussed the matter with Zishan at his home for several hours, primarily expressing their strong desire for him to continue his education at Shanghai High School. Before leaving, she turned and offered a final piece of advice. Student Zishan, we have covered nearly everything. I think I've said all that needs to be said. Regarding this last point, as long as you agree to continue your studies here at Shanghai High School, whatever you wish for, you can tell me directly. Zishan quickly pointed toward his friend. Thank you, principal. I only have one request. I hope Shen Qinghan can continue to be in the same class as me. The principal immediately stepped closer, observing carefully. Student Shen Qinghan, correct? When a new school year begins, you two must report to Shanghai High School to register. Zishan and Qinghan happily replied in unison. Thank you, principal. After choosing his high school, he participated in the middle school's final martial arts competition. Unsurprisingly, Zishan easily clinched the championship title for Shanghai Middle School once again. With the prize money secured, he decided to fulfill his prior objective immediately. Only 20% remaining to unlock the Ink Demon Shadow Totem. The amount of meat he could buy with his prize money would definitely be enough to complete the process. Since he didn't know what might happen when he unlocked the totem, or what uncontrollable situations could arise, he intentionally traveled to the forested mountain region outside Shanghai City. Zishun immediately channeled his inner power. No time to delay. He just started the process. The system panel announced, consumed a large quantity of Ink Demon Shadow. The system attributes panel updated. Ink Demon Shadow Totem, 100%. This froze him in place for a few seconds. Then another system panel appeared. You have successfully unlocked the Ink Demon Shadow Totem and acquired the biological trait, Aquatic Affinity Trait. Significantly enhances connection to water. The completion of the process left him slightly underwhelmed. Why does this Aquatic Affinity Trait feel a little useless? I need to test this immediately at the nearby pond. My skin doesn't wrinkle after soaking for ages, and I can clearly feel the water resistance is greatly reduced when I swim. But is that all? Are there no other effects? Well, that's normal, I guess. An Ink Shadow is a low-level monster. Its gene isn't even worth fusing much. If I want better biological traits, I just need to keep spending money later. Eventually, I'll acquire everything. Or, once I grow stronger, I can hunt mutated beasts and consume their flesh, like those giant mutated rats. As he thought this, Zishin clenched his fist in determination. With less than a week until the new school year, his mother and Shun Qinghan's family planned a joint trip. To better test his new aquatic affinity trait, Zishun suggested they go to the beach. Qinghan anxiously hugged herself. Zishun, the sea is freezing. Zishun quickly swam off, but called back. It's always like that when you first get in. Just get used to it slowly, and you won't feel cold anymore. A notification appeared shortly after. You are swimming. Blood chi +1. Full body muscle strength +1. Full body muscle coordination +1. Water affinity +1. Swimming skill +1. Qinghan stood there pouting. Zishun, stop swimming by yourself. Come over here and teach me how to swim. He suddenly remembered something from the past and stopped his powerful strokes. Wait, that's right. Qinghan still hasn't learned how to swim. So Zishun patiently began the lesson. Given Shin Qinghan's only average athletic ability, he figured it would be difficult for her to pick up swimming. But he didn't expect to be proven utterly wrong almost instantly. Qinghan powerfully extended her arms and swam a short distance. Zishun, is swimming really this simple? I learned how in a flash. She immediately tried submerging her face deeper. Wait, I can dive. Qinghan resurfaced with absolute confidence, leaving Zishun dumbfounded. Zishun, wasn't that amazing? I always hear people say it hurts to open your eyes underwater in the ocean because of the sting, but I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. It felt cool and comfortable, actually. Zishun rubbed his chin while watching her. Even if Shun Qinghan has a great water affinity, there's no way she could master all those swimming skills simultaneously. This is highly irregular. He suddenly remembered something from the past. No, wait a second. Could the reason Shun Qinghan constantly wet the bed be because she was born with a natural water trait? I can't believe it. Maybe, just like in cultivation novels, Shun Qinghan possessed a special cultivation physique in her previous life. Next, Zishun went diving with Shun Qinghan, and her performance left him even more stunned. They had been underwater for over 10 minutes already. She's a beginner. Even trained divers can't easily stay submerged for this long. Suddenly, Qinghan was drawn to a strange sound. She quickly looked around for the source. In the water? What was that strange noise? They both immediately swam away from the area. What exactly was that sound? Zishun and Qinghan breached the surface simultaneously. He turned to her and asked, "What happened? Why are you so worked up all of a sudden?" Qinghan hugged herself tightly and confessed, "Just now I suddenly heard a really weird sound in my ear. It was so bizarre it was actually kind of frightening." Zishun quickly moved closer and pulled her into a hug. "What kind of sound?" Qinghan calmly tried to recall. "I don't know. Maybe it was a language I didn't recognize. I only know it was a woman's voice. It sounded so real, and it kept echoing in my head until we reached the surface." To calm Shun Qinghan down immediately, he quickly took her back to the hotel. Afterward, Zishun tried investigating online using his phone, but he couldn't find any information about the sound Qinghan described. Since the event made him restless, he decided to continue his physical training. The system panel flashed. "You have completed 1,000 weighted sit-ups." Unbelievably, Zishun achieved an advancement during his training. He clenched his hands, lost in thought. Level 5 Common Rank. This is the level of creature that can compete with a fully grown giant mutated rat. It looks like if I keep training, tearing apart that mutated rat with my bare hands won't be impossible. After advancing, he headed to an isolated beach to test various other data points. Zishun's 100-meter dash time was now a mere 3.64 seconds, and his vertical leap. The Reaper's overall power index has reached 6.98 meters. He can now lift a vehicle weighing about 1,600 kilograms with just one hand. Compared to when he first broke through to Common Rank 2, the numerical improvements are truly remarkable. With these accomplishments under his belt, the Reaper finally began his high school career. Two classmates immediately came up to greet him. "Wait, is that Lin Zishin? Wow, he's really handsome. Oh, so Zishin is on cleaning duty with us. What luck." You and Qinghan came early to do duty, but I didn't realize I already knew the new kid. But what surprised Lin Zixin was that this cleaning duty task actually triggered a new mission achievement. Complete 1,000 multi-person cooperative tasks. I still don't know what the specific effect of this swarm animal trait is going to be. I really can't wait to find out. Since the school year had just started and there wasn't much going on, Lin Zixin took advantage of the free time to go shopping at the supermarket. After all, the Shadow Ink Octopus artifact diagram was already unlocked. The next step was figuring out a new target. Lin Zixin's eyes were quickly drawn to something in the distance. He stared at the item labeled Great Vicious Eagle in utter amazement. Wait, this is... Lin Zixin was overjoyed. That's it. Beneath the starry night sky in the wilderness, a strange bird soared, the Great Vicious Eagle. It's a type of variant beast, slightly higher rank than the Shadow Ink Octopus. Its eyesight is phenomenal, 30 times better than a regular human's. It's incredibly powerful. As a result, its tracking ability is equally strong. It can even accurately pinpoint a variant rabbit that is moving so fast, it's only a blur. Lin Zixin carefully examined the leg of the vicious eagle he had just purchased, thinking to himself, if my eyesight is good enough, it could greatly enhance my combat efficiency. The description says this vicious eagle artifact diagram is absolutely worth unlocking, especially because the meat is the second cheapest on the shelf, only 1,998 yuan per kilogram. Without another word, he decisively held the leg piece and used his appraisal ability. The system notification appeared. 1 kilogram of meat can increase the diagram unlocking progress by 1%. Lin Zixin did the math in his head. 1 kilogram of meat equals 1% progress. That means I'll need over 200,000 yuan just to unlock the Great Vicious Eagle diagram completely. Tears welled up in his eyes. He clenched his fists bitterly. Looks like I'll have to put in maximum effort in high school competitions to earn enough money. The prize money for high school martial arts tournaments is much higher than in middle school. He silently vowed, I have to unlock this Great Vicious Eagle diagram before the second year. The summer break was over, and I finally began my high school career. It was a beautiful morning at Shanghai High School. On the first day of the new semester, the teachers and classmates began introducing themselves. The teachers went first. Hello everyone, I am Han Yuanfeng. I teach martial arts cultivation, and I'm also your homeroom teacher. Hello everyone, I'm Kai Yuanfei. I'm the teacher for the mechanical modification course. Hello, I'm Lu Diren, the gene fusion subject teacher. Hello students, I'm Cheng Pei, the teacher for the wilderness survival course. Now that the faculty has introduced themselves, let's have each of you introduce yourselves one by one. Immediately after the teachers finished, a girl with purple hair smiled brightly and began. Hello everyone, my name is Chu Yushi. My talents include zither, chess, calligraphy, and painting. Another girl with pink hair quickly introduced herself. I'm Zhong Ijia. I enjoy watching anime, cosplay, and sports. Then a guy with blue hair shouted loudly. I'm Peng Huoguang. When I have nothing to do, I like to stay home and play games. Soon it was Shun Qinghan's turn to introduce herself. Being stared at by so many people made her feel extremely nervous. She shyly and nervously mumbled, Hello everyone. My name is Shun Qinghan. I usually like to draw and color. And, she nervously swallowed. Please take care of me in the future. Right after her, Lin Zixin also stood up. Well, my introduction is probably going to be the shortest one in the class. Unbeatable. Hello everyone. My name is Lin Zixin. Please take care of me in the future. Time flew by. Once everyone finished introducing themselves, the dismissal bell rang. Suddenly, a voice rang out, catching Qinghan's attention. Qinghan, what did you score on the high school entrance exam? She turned her eyes toward the source of the voice. Qinghan awkwardly replied to Chu Xian. 709 points. What about you, Chu Xian? Chu Xian heard this and yelled, That's incredible. You scored 10 points higher than me. I only got 698 points. So what about your physical fitness test score? Mine was terrible. I only managed 95 points. Just awful. The physical fitness test is out of 100 points. Scoring 95 means you're basically a genius among geniuses. Qinghan replied, I'm not as good as you. I only scored 79 points on the fitness test. That's 11 points below the minimum standard for this elite class. I really can't let that score slip out. However, Chu Xian wasn't giving up. She pressed Qinghan with an eager tone. So how many points did you get? 94? Or 93? Qinghan looked down, mumbling, still a bit lower than that. Chu Xian leaned closer, insisting on an answer. Is it 92, 91, or 90 points? Suddenly, a hand slammed down hard on the desk, startling Chu Xian. She jumped and turned around sharply. Lin Zixin had approached her without her noticing and asked, Hey, can I add your WeChat? She stammered nervously. Add? My WeChat? Sure. Let me scan your QR code. She blushed hotly, thinking, this handsome guy actually initiated a WeChat friend request with me? Am I blessed by the gods today? Seeing Zishan save the day, Qinghan felt a rush of gratitude. Thank goodness Zishan showed up to distract her. If she had kept pushing, I really wouldn't have known how to answer. That would have been mortifying. Lin Zishan casually approached the other classmates. He cheerfully suggested, Hiyu, let's exchange WeChats too. Hiyu enthusiastically held up his phone and replied, go ahead and scan mine. After adding everyone, Lin Zishan immediately created a 4-person group chat. But surprisingly, he had completed yet another multi-person cooperative task. The system notification flashed. Congratulations. You have successfully created a 4-person group, meeting the criteria for completing one multi-person cooperative task. All I can say is that this completion quest is literally done with the flick of a wrist. After creating the group, the 4 of them started getting to know each other better. Hiyu came from the nearby city of Nanwan. His family had run martial arts schools for generations, making him a young master of a reputable martial arts clan. Hiyu had even placed 8th in the Nanwan City Youth Martial Arts Tournament, which was considered a great honor for his family line. As for Chu Xin, her family owns a clothing store with multiple branches across the district, making her a legitimate little heiress. Shen Qinghan and I also shared our backgrounds with the others. Before long, the 4 of us had formed a small clique where we could talk about absolutely anything. Just as the 4 of them were wrapping up their chat, Hiyu brought up an interesting topic. He announced loudly, guess who the strongest person in our class is? You guys are never going to figure out. Chu Xin immediately jumped in with her opinion. I bet Lin Zishan is the strongest. He was the highest scoring student in the high school entrance exam for our entire district. Haiyu's eyes widened as he shouted in amazement. Holy crap, Grim Reaper, you're actually that incredible? But even the region's top student probably falls short. You might not believe this, but our class has 2 extremely strong students. The principal spent a huge amount of money recruiting them from Nangwon City. The student sitting by the window, 3rd row from the left, is named Wang Shujia. He achieved the highest score on Nangwon City's high school entrance exam, and his time for the 100-meter dash is 7.98 seconds. Additionally, the big guy named Lu Gang, sitting on the far right in the back row, this person possesses natural divine strength. He can easily lift a 300-kilogram weight with just one hand. Qinghan heard this and conceded. That sounds pretty impressive. Chu Xin was stunned and cried out, oh my god, is that for real? Meanwhile, Grim Reaper breathed a sigh of relief internally. Hearing that, I feel much more at ease. 7.98 seconds for the 100-meter dash, 300 kilograms. Both those numbers are barely at my elementary school level. Soon, the bell rang again, and the next item was book distribution. There were 4 books corresponding to the 4 main courses: Martial Path Cultivation, Gene Fusion Cultivation, Mechanical Modification Cultivation, and finally, Wilderness Survival Cultivation. Grim Reaper mused. Since I already self-studied all 4 of these books when I was young, I'll find a secluded spot to practice during my free time. After all, the threat of the rat god cult still looms. The police have only managed to capture the heretics so far, but they still haven't found any trace of the Rat King. Therefore, I must try my best to advance beyond the 6th stage, so if I encounter any mutant rats, I'll be able to fight them. The first practical class in the afternoon was Wilderness Survival. Chung Pei stood in the center, pointing at the wooden sticks lying on the ground. Students stood around him watching. He asked loudly, does anyone know how to start a fire by rubbing 2 sticks together? Hayu stammered a reply. This skill is basically never used in daily life. Who has time to learn that? But just as he finished speaking, the 2 so-called strongest students, Shujia and Lu Gang, quickly knelt down, rubbed the sticks together, and produced fire, leaving Hayu pale-faced and shouting in shock. What the? Chung Pei stood by, smiling, and said, well, look at this. How are you 2 so skilled? You can even make fire just by rubbing 2 sticks together? Lu Gang answered boldly. Sir, when I was in middle school, I took an extracurricular summer course to learn this. Shujia replied confidently. I taught myself online when I was in elementary school. After the 2 students from Nangwon City finished, the others began practicing themselves. Before long, Grim Reaper also taught the members of the Starlight team how to create fire by rubbing the wood together. A little later, at the gymnasium, Yuan Feng started. Today, I will teach you a special breathing cultivation method. However, the martial path class also quickly turned into a bragging opportunity for the 2 students from Nangwon City. Shujia and Lu Gang yelled in unison, Sir, we already learned that. Although it seemed a little ridiculous, they truly knew the technique. Although I already know this knowledge, maintaining humility is always my standard practice. Time flew by. More than a month later, the homeroom teacher, Yuan Fei, stood before the class and announced, it's been over a month since the school year started, and it's time to test your learning results. He slightly adjusted his glasses and instructed, for this exam, I have set up prize tiers. First place receives 888 yuan in cash, second place receives 666 yuan in cash, and third place receives 333 yuan in cash. Grim Reaper pondered, there are prizes? And the first place winner gets 888 yuan? That reward is truly generous. I could almost buy half a kilogram of violent great condor meat with that. With prizes involved, everyone naturally put forth effort. More than an hour later, the exam concluded. Darren held the exam paper and told the class, "It's been over a month since the school year started, and it's time to test your learning results." Coincidentally, the gene fusion teacher, Lou Darren, also held an exam. Even the prizes were exactly the same. After taking 2 consecutive exams, Hayu was nearly passed out on his desk. Spiritless, he muttered, "It's finally over." A classmate started complaining. "This sucks. Why was that test so hard?" They even asked for the energy wavelength of the laser technique. Who the hell remembers that? And what good is remembering it anyway? The surrounding classmates agreed. Exactly. This test was ridiculously hard. The last question was also absurd, asking about the relationship between anti-airflow equipment and atmosphere pressure, then demanding we calculate the specific values separately? What the hell? There were too many decimal points. How are we supposed to calculate that? Another tired classmate lamented. "I originally wanted to get 90 points, but this time I'd be happy just to get 60 points. Just as everyone was complaining about the difficulty of the questions, the Nangwon City duo started showing off to each other. Shujia, standing by the window, asked Liu Gang. "That test was actually pretty difficult. How did you do?" Liu Gang replied, "I think I'll only get 95 points. I struggled with the very last question." "What about you?" Shujia responded, "Me too. I only missed the answer to the final question, so I estimate I'll only get 95 points as well." These words reached Hayu's ears, and his face darkened. Damn it. They're showing off again. Would they die if they didn't? I want to punch them both right in the face. A while later, Darren held the test results and announced to the class, "Students, the mechanical modification test scores are in." He began reading out the scores individually. Gui Yinling, 52 points. Shun Qinghan, 61 points. Qinghan happily turned back and whispered to Grim Reaper, "Xiao Shun, I passed." He replied, "Heaven favors the diligent. You deserve it." Darren continued, "Hayu, 88 points." The other students heard this and immediately turned around to praise him. "Hayu, you are amazing." Darren also offered praise. "Excellent work. I have high hopes for you." Feeling a boost of confidence, Hayu said, "Just luck, just luck. It just so happened to test things I knew. Team A members, wait until I get my 333 yuan third-place prize, and I'll treat everyone to a nice meal." Darren then smiled broadly and announced the results of the 2 top students. Liu Gang, 95 points. Wang Shujia, 95 points. You two are also amazing. You were just 1 question away from getting everything right. Shujia folded his arms confidently. "Sir, that final question required too much calculation. Just give me 10 more minutes, and I guarantee I could solve it." Liu Gang chimed in, "Me too." Darren proudly said, "I believe you two have that capability." Hayu glared at the 2 of them, cursing internally. Damn it. They're showing off again. But no matter what, 3rd place is still mine. Suddenly, right at that moment, Darren spoke up again. "This test was very difficult. You might not believe this, but someone in our class achieved a perfect score. Lin Zishan, 100 points. Both Shujia and Liu Gang stared wide-eyed and shouted, 100 points. He actually got 100 points. What kind of test is this? That's unreasonable. Totally unreasonable." At that moment, Grim Reaper seemed like a descending angel, his halo shining upon him, making even the nearby Hayu look on in admiration. Even the 2 top students from Nangwon City were defeated. Lin Zishan is too strong. Crucially, he also stole my 3rd-place spot. Next time, I absolutely cannot celebrate prematurely. Qinghan turned around and said, "Zishan is amazing." Chu Xine added, "Shine on, Shanghai." Grim Reaper immediately raised his hand and asked Darren without hesitation, "Oh, right, Teacher Liu, when will the 888 yuan first-place prize be handed out?" He replied seriously, "Don't worry. I will put the cash into a red envelope and send the reward to the class group chat." Then he secretly judged Grim Reaper. This kid cares about money too? Is he that broke? Just over an hour later, the gene fusion test scores were also announced. This time, it was Yuan Fei's turn to announce the results of the previous exam. "Students, the final results for the gene fusion test are in. The Nangwon double heroes. Liu Gang scored 81 points, and Wang Shujia scored 83 points. For a test that most students failed, barely achieving an excellent score was already impressive, but clearly, the 2 of them couldn't hide their satisfaction with the results. And Shin Qinghan? She scored 78 points. That performance is definitely good enough to break into the top 5. And the God of Death, he just keeps scoring perfect marks and pocketing all the prize money. Hiyu, Wang Shujia, and Liu Gang, on the other hand, just kept taking heavy hits to their pride. Wang Shujia raised his hand, looking serious. "Mr. Yuan Fei, how could anyone possibly get a perfect score on a test this difficult?" Not to be outdone, Liu Gang raised his hand too. "I have to report, sir. I feel like he might have had the answers beforehand." Yuan Fei paused, then sternly refuted their claims. "Absolutely impossible. There is no way." He then explained the situation to the 2 of them. "Every question on this exam was personally created by me. The answers cannot be found anywhere online, so cheating is simply impossible. This news completely shattered Shujia and Liu Gang. All they could do was stare blankly and stammer. How could this? Hiyu, who had been watching the whole spectacle, secretly leaned toward Chu Xinbao, chuckling. Well, that was certainly entertaining. If you lose, you lose. But to accuse someone of cheating just because you can't handle failure? They're making the whole South Dorm look bad. Chu Xinbao nodded vehemently. Yeah, Wang Shujia is completely classless. Troublemakers always manage to cause a scene. A few minutes later, the lunch break began. It would be a short one, as Class 1-to-1 was scheduled for a wilderness survival assessment that afternoon. Changpei announced the rules to the students. The prizes for the natural survival test are the same as the other subjects. First place gets 888 renminbi cash, second place gets 666 renminbi, and third place gets 333 renminbi. The assessment includes 3 main sections: climbing, mountain climbing and tree climbing, swimming, and fire creation by wood friction. After Cheng Pei finished, Wang Shuju turned and whispered fiercely to Liu Gang. Liu Gang, we failed to beat him in those 2 theoretical tests this morning. This afternoon, during the survival training and martial arts session, we absolutely must redeem ourselves. Liu Gang, radiating determination, replied, you don't have to tell me twice. I will absolutely crush him and avenge this morning's humiliation. Before long, the assessment was underway. The first challenge was the combined tree and mountain climb, where speed determined the final score. To the utter dismay of the 2 rivals, Lin Zichen clinched first place in the climbing event. I knew it. The South Dorm duo were left eating my dust. Are you kidding me? This Lin Zichen guy is being way too flashy. I pushed myself to the limit. Damn it. I can't even see his shadow anymore. Lin Zichen has taken first place in the climbing competition. Still, I'm much more concerned about Shen Qinghan right now. She hasn't even finished the climb yet, so she'll definitely be last, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Once we get to the swimming portion, she will definitely shine and regain her confidence. In the subsequent fire-making stage, if I want that prize money, I guess I have to keep competing with the South Dorm duo. Why is Lin Zichen so fast at everything? His hand speed is simply supernatural. I distinctly remember him being much slower during the fire starting practice. Lin Zichen successfully started the fire in 58 seconds. Swimming was the final event. This time, Shen Qinghan absolutely demolished the South Dorm duo, a fact that surely delivered a massive blow to their morale. Shujia and Liu Gang swallowed their bitterness. Lin Zichen being fast makes sense, but why did Shen Qinghan suddenly have such an amazing burst of speed? Impossible. I must be too stressed out and seeing things. Following the wilderness survival assessment, Wang Shujia and Liu Gang fell into a stunned silence. They didn't speak for a very long time, which, on the plus side, resulted in a wonderfully quiet afternoon. Inside the large martial arts hall, Han Yuanfeng addressed the class. You have all been training in martial arts for over a month now. Today, it's time to assess your progress. The method is simple. Everyone will step up onto the ring and spar. There will be prizes for the top 3. Do your absolute best, all right? The mention of martial arts training that afternoon immediately reignited the rivals' dashed hopes. Their fighting spirit renewed. Liu Gang and Wang Shujia radiated fierce ambition. So what if we lost the written test and the wilderness survival assessment? This is martial arts class. What really matters here is physical prowess and combat technique. If your fighting ability is weak, every other achievement is meaningless. Sparring is where it counts. I must reclaim the number 1 spot we lost. Before the sparring officially began, Han Yuanfeng assigned a physical assessment as a warm-up exercise for the entire class. He instructed, this quick warm-up test will measure 3 metrics: 100-meter sprint speed, the maximum weight of a barbell you can lift with one hand, and your standing vertical jump height. Lin Zichen completed the 100-meter sprint in 7.78 seconds. He lifted 330 kilograms. His standing vertical jump was 2.18 meters. I led in all 3 metrics. I didn't want to show off too much, so I held back, ensuring my results were only marginally better than those measured for Wang Shujia and Liu Gang. The 2 rivals watched his performance, practically frozen. He's faster than me in 100 meters, but he only ranked first in the district during the entrance exams. This defies all logic. His physical strength is also greater than mine. Lin Zichen doesn't even look that imposing. Wait, did his body just not fully develop until after high school admission? Wang Shujia quickly turned his head to comfort Liu Gang. Liu Gang, don't panic. Losing the physical test doesn't mean we've lost everything. Actual combat relies not just on sheer power, but on martial arts technique. We still have a chance. Liu Gang slapped his friend's shoulder. You're absolutely right. Our martial arts technique is far superior to these average classmates. We definitely still have a chance. After the physical tests, everyone moved toward the arena for sparring. I need to secure the highest rank possible for the natural selection training program. I suppose I still have to be the first one standing in the ring. But since my physical test results were so dominant, no one dared to step forward. Even the South Dorm duo weren't rushing this time. They chose to wait and observe. If we keep delaying, though, the teacher is definitely going to lose patience. Han Yuanfeng called out a name. Luo Wei, get up there and spar with Zichen. The two of them immediately took their fighting stances, preparing for the match. With a single strike, Zichen sent his classmate flying off the platform. To save time, I have no choice but to end this quickly and decisively. And so, he proceeded to knock them down, one opponent after another. If I want to cycle through everyone in this class before dismissal, I have to increase my speed for every takedown. Wang Shujie watched, panic etched across his stunned face. No way. Is Lin Zichen really this powerful? Lu Gang, standing beside him, was completely frozen, the cup of water in his hand spilling unnoticed onto his shirt. I bet he didn't even use his full strength during the physical test. This guy's playing on a totally different level. Just at that moment, Hiyu confidently leaped onto the platform and shouted a challenge. Lu Gang, I finished warming up, and I'm currently in peak condition. Do you dare to step up and fight me? Lu Gang confidently vaulted onto the mat, roaring back, half a minute. I only need 30 seconds to knock you out. If he hadn't challenged me, I would have been stuck facing Lin Zichen. I can't guarantee a win against Lin Zichen, but I can definitely ensure a win against this guy. He rushed forward without the slightest hesitation, yelling, bring it on. In a flash, he unleashed a flurry of attacks toward the stationary Lu Gang. Thwack! Lu Gang seized Hiyu's leg. Using overwhelming strength, he hoisted Hiyu into the air and spun him several times, before finally flinging him right out of the arena. Hiyu hit the ground with a sickening thud, completing those mid-air rotations with a very painful landing. Hiyu immediately threw up, retching uncontrollably. Lu Gang smirked condescendingly at Hiyu. Of all the people I've fought, your raw physical strength is the best. I'll hand it to you, you're the strongest in class, physically, but my technique is clearly a whole level above yours. Zishun immediately jumped onto the platform, issuing a challenge. Come on, let's get a round in. This is the perfect chance to advance my progress. If I stop now, no one else will dare step up. Lu Gang hesitated for a moment, then snarled, bring it on then. Who's scared of you? Have a taste of my move. In the blink of an eye, Lu Gang unleashed a rapid, lightning-fast combo of moves. He shot straight towards Zishun. But Zishun calmly evaded the attack. Damn it, that was fast. And just like that, with a single punch, Zishun sent Lu Gang flying clean off the platform. All the other students in the stands erupted. Wang Shujie, your best friend Lu Gang just got trashed. What are you waiting for? Go avenge him. That's right. The honor of the Nan City top student needs protection. Wang Shujie, don't be a coward. Get up there. Shujie immediately leapt onto the platform, confronting Zishun head-on. He snapped, what are you all screaming about? I was already planning to go up. All of you shut up. Zishun stood massive and still, like a fortress. It doesn't matter. I'll find a way to beat him. Without an ounce of hesitation, Shujie lunged. He gritted his teeth, pouring all his strength into a punch aimed right at Zishun. Gotta risk it all. But Zishun, possessing supreme power, stopped the punch with a single hand. His other hand immediately clenched into a fist and shot forward. Zishun's punch slammed into Shujie's face, sending him flying backward. Just as quickly, Shujie was knocked out, sprawling on the floor. Foaming at the mouth, his face ghostly white. Following that, Zishun systematically knocked down every remaining male student in the class. Some students fell down just from a gentle tap on the back of the neck. One by one, every challenger was flattened on the floor, utterly unable to compete. According to the natural selection mission rules, each opponent only counts once, no matter how many times they're defeated. That means I'll only be able to spar with the girls next time, but they're not going to volunteer. Zishun glanced down at the female students, who were all staring back at him, faces flushed. He imagined, getting up on the stage to rub up against me. Suddenly, Chu Wuxi raised her hand and volunteered. Classmate Zishun, I want to challenge you. She quickly flipped and landed gracefully on the fighting platform. Zishun, moving with godly speed, shifted to the side and lightly tapped her on the back. Her speed is truly impressive. Chu Wuxi thought regretfully, darn it, I was so close to getting a hug. After that, much to everyone's surprise, the other female students started actively volunteering to challenge him. Naturally, I held back when fighting the girls. The main priority is just racking up spar counts to finish this mission quickly. Soon enough, the girls were finished, but I was still far from completing the mission. I was feeling slightly defeated, but then Han Yuanfeng suddenly announced some great news. Everyone performed well this time. Next, those in the top ranks should learn how to challenge opponents at a higher level. In 1 month, our class will hold a challenge match against the strongest regular class in the second year. Prepare yourselves. Our goal is to defeat the strongest regular class in the second year. A rare smile finally crossed Zishun's face. I was just worried I wouldn't have enough fights to rapidly advance my natural selection progress. This challenge couldn't have come at a better time. It's truly like receiving charcoal in a blizzard. Class dismissed. You are free to go, Yuan Feng shouted. Lu Gang strode up to Zishan. I used to worry that after coming to Shanghai High, I wouldn't find any worthy rivals. It looks like I underestimated this place. From this day forward, you're Lu Gang's rival for the next 3 years of high school. Zishan barely registered him, immersed in his own thoughts. Based on Han Yuanfeng's arrangement, completing the natural selection mission within a year doesn't seem impossible after all. Even Shuji approached and swore loudly, Lin Zishan, losing today doesn't mean I'll lose forever. Before graduation, I swear I will have my revenge. Zishan remained lost in his calculations. Plus, I completed a mission and got a cash bonus? Sweet deal. Wait, let me recalculate. I actually earned over 3,000 today. Seeing him just casually walk away, the two rivals complained simultaneously and indignantly. He's not just ignoring us, he's mocking us. How unbelievably arrogant. Zishan, however, paid them no mind. He clenched his fist, rejoicing internally. With this cash, I can finally buy more exotic beast meat. Fantastic. By nightfall, the city was brilliantly illuminated by the lights of the skyscrapers. In his bedroom, Zishan typed on his keyboard, deep in thought. Even though I got a decent bonus today, it's still nowhere near enough to buy the beast meat. I need to unlock the next power diagram. So, to make extra money, I opened a novel account and started writing. Suddenly, a message popped up. Hello, I'm the editor in charge of this platform. Your novel is truly excellent. I'd like to invite you to sign a serialization contract. The next morning, as soon as I woke up, I received the official contract notification from the website. After logging into the novel platform to finalize the contract, a piece of breaking news immediately grabbed my attention. It had happened just 2 hours prior. A giant mutated rat had attacked a suburban cold storage warehouse containing exotic beast meat. The colossal exotic beast, rat, was over 5 meters long and had bitten a mechanized soldier clean in half. The mechanized soldier instantly activated its hidden auxiliary power source and initiated a self-destruct sequence to eliminate the threat. The giant mutated beast, rat, was instantly blown into pieces. He wondered just how many more of these massive mutant rats were lurking within Shanghai City. And seriously, considering how huge they are, where could they possibly be hiding in the city without being spotted? The next day, at Shanghai High School's gymnasium. Today is our sparring session with a regular second-year class. Han Yuanfeng is currently going over tactics with our strongest students. He instructed each student. In a one-on-one scenario, their peak combat ability is inferior to ours. However, their overall strength as a class is higher. They will definitely leverage their numbers, focusing on defense, dragging out the battles, and using a rotation strategy to wear down the 4 of you. Therefore, the moment you step onto that floor, you must win quickly. Understood. The 4, including Zishan, Hiyu, Lu Gang, and Shu Jia, replied in unison. Yes, sir. In a flash, a student confidently vaulted onto the sparring platform. Zishan spoke up loudly. Teacher Han, let me take the first round. I have to complete the natural selection achievement. The more opponents I defeat, the better. Getting up there early is the only way. Just then, a confused female student from the second-year class asked, Sir, he's their strongest fighter, and I'm the weakest in my class. How am I supposed to fight him? The second-year teacher angrily turned to scold Yuan Feng. Brother Feng, the rules for inter-class sparring clearly state that the weakest goes first. Why are you sending your strongest student out in the first round? That is a direct violation. Hearing this, Yuan Feng immediately yelled, Zishan, get down here right now. You'll get your turn later. Let the weaker students in the class go first. He pouted and replied, Fine, teacher. He then turned and commanded, Yintong, you go first. The startled girl replied, But, teacher, I haven't mentally prepared myself yet. At that very moment, Qing Han tentatively stepped up and told Yuan Feng, Teacher Han, I'm the weakest one here. Please, let me go first. He immediately agreed to let her take the floor. As she got into a ready stance to begin the match, Qing Han thought frantically, What do? I'm so nervous. Below the platform, Chu Xin and Hiyu cheered relentlessly. Henin, you got this, Henin. Hit him. Her face growing even paler. She thought, their cheering is only making me more frantic. Suddenly, the second-year student charged forward. She unleashed a rapid flurry of strikes toward Qing Han. Qing Han, meanwhile, simply stood her ground, raising her arms to defend. She held fast. She thought exhaustedly, I know I can't win, but I could try my best to hold out for as long as possible and drain her stamina. 3 minutes later, the second-year girl, having thrown continuous punches, was also tired and thought, she's actually just, if I keep wasting time like this, my stamina will be depleted. I have to finish this now. With that, she delivered a powerful blow that sent Qing Han tumbling off the platform. She landed painfully. Embarrassed, she ran with a bright red face straight toward Yuan Feng and Zishan. Yuan Feng comforted her. Qing Han, you fought excellently. You knew exactly how to use defensive posturing to sap your opponent's energy. That was very smart. Zishin ruffled her hair and complimented her. That's pretty good. To hold out for more than 3 minutes against a senior who's been training for over a year, that's major progress. Just then, another student from their class stepped onto the floor to face the second-year student. The new challenger thought, her stamina is almost gone. This is my chance to take her out. In a flash, she spun around and threw a kick directly at the second-year student. However, the senior managed to evade her strike. Without a moment's hesitation, the senior slammed a punch right in her face. The second-year girl, sitting atop the freshman, looked arrogant as the defeated girl screamed in pain, pounding her hands on the floor. Stop! Let go of me! I yield! The second-year girl chuckled softly and reminded her, you came in only focused on attacking, with zero defense. Are you looking down on the regular classes? It's true, I don't have the natural talent you do, but I've also trained a full year longer than you have. Maybe you should spend another year honing your skills before you try fighting me. This caused the freshman to grind her teeth in bitter silence, unable to offer a rebuttal. Chu Xin steadily walked up the steps onto the sparring platform. She clenched her fists and declared loudly, Hanin, let me avenge you. Watch me take that senior down. In mere seconds, Chu Xin landed a direct strike on the second-year senior, dropping the girl flat onto the floor. Qing Han cheered incessantly from below. Chu Xin is amazing. Zishan stood beside her and reminded her, you're amazing too. If you hadn't worn down the senior's stamina beforehand, Chu Xin wouldn't have won that easily. 2 hours later, the second-year teacher announced, Brother Feng, your class is down to 4 people now. It looks like we've definitely won that lunch bet. Yuan Feng replied, it's far too early to make a call. We'll just have to wait and see. Zishan, Xu Jia, Lu Gang, and Hiyu. They are the true strength of Class 1. The decisive battle is just starting. He turned and instructed Hiyu, Hiyu, you're up next. Hiyu confidently jumped onto the platform and replied loudly, Present. My fists have been itching for action. Senior, are you ready to face my hard punch? The senior from Class 5, Class 2, tilted his head, sneering, Hey kid, could you stop being such a typical high school brat? Without hesitation, Hiyu launched a kick straight into his face. He roared, You dare to ruin my exit? Get lost. Everything happened so fast. In the blink of an eye, the Class 5, Class 2 senior was knocked flat on the ground outside the arena. Hiyu stood in the ring, completely confident. Seriously? This is their skill level? And they dare stand here calling other people idiots? What a waste of space. Just then, another challenger aggressively stepped onto the platform. He clenched his fist tight, spitting out an angry threat. You punk, you've got a big mouth, don't you? Let me show you what real power feels like. However, the moment he launched his strike, with swift movements, Hiyu calmly avoided the strike, causing the attacker to gasp in shock. What? That fast? He actually dodged my attack? And then, Hiyu delivered a swift rising kick straight to the new senior's chin. Hit by Hiyu's devastating counter, he was instantly knocked out and crumpled flat on the floor. Standing on the sidelines, Qing Han and Chu Xin cheered wildly. Hiyu is incredible. Go Hiyu. Beat him up. Crush them all. Following this, Hiyu swiftly dispatched opponent after opponent. One punch was all it took to send them flying, one after the other. Some were hit directly in the face by Hiyu's relentless fists. He roared, Bring it on again. Although Hiyu still wanted to continue, after taking down 5 opponents consecutively, he was visibly started to tire. Hiyu gasped for breath and yelled, Next up, hurry it up. I can still knock out 10 more guys. In the end, he was defeated by the 6th opponent. At this point, Class 1 was down to 3 students, while Class 6, Class 2 still had 13. Yuan immediately ordered in a severe tone, Wang Shujia, step up. Present. He charged forward like a wild beast, raising his fists immediately for the attack. Wang Shujia proceeded to take down 10 people in a row. It wasn't until the 11th match that Wang Shujia finally lost, having completely exhausted his stamina. Next up was Lu Gang. In less than 10 minutes, he quickly defeated the 2 remaining key fighters. He landed a direct punch to one opponent's gut, while the other was brutally kicked straight in the face by Lu Gang. Yuan Feng chuckled triumphantly, speaking to the teacher from Class 5, Class 2. Your side only has 1 fighter left. How about you save face and just forfeit now? The teacher calmly answered, hands tucked into his pockets. I don't think we need to. Go on up, Wang Jinhe. It's your turn to put on a show. Jinhe was like a colossal mountain, huge and imposing, towering over Lu Gang. He boomed, present. Lu Gang gave a cold snort. He got in his fighting stance and remarked, just a big, tall, fatty, is that all? I'm still going to take you down. And with that, Lu Gang drove a punch straight into the center of Jinhe's chest. He immediately fell to shock. It felt like punching a giant cotton sack. Shaking off the thought, he yelled again, and rained a barrage of punches onto Jinhe's chest. Damn it, no use. Lu Gang gasped, thinking, too much padding. Too thick. I can't even make him budge. Jinhe let out a cold laugh. Are you finished now? Because if you are, it's my turn. Liu Gang was instantly grabbed tight by the throat. Oh no, I can't breathe. This guy's strength is horrifying. He was ultimately tossed clear out of the arena by Jinha. Yuan Feng was stunned, a look of shock flashing across his face. He turned to the Class 5, Class 2 teacher. Hold on. I don't recall ever having a student this powerful in your class roster. He smirked, laughing with smug satisfaction. My deepest apologies. He just transferred in this semester, so it's only natural you wouldn't remember him. It seems you're going to lose this time. Remember our bet. If you lose, you have to buy the entire winning class a massive dinner. Tears welled in Yuan Feng's eyes. This is agonizing. So he was hiding Wang Jinha as his ace. No matter how powerful Lin Zixin is, he won't be able to defeat this monster. I was too careless. He completely played me. Yuan Feng walked over to Zixin, placing a hand on his shoulder with a heavy expression. Zixin, it's your turn. Just go in there and get some good sparring in. You'll gain valuable experience, win or lose. Don't worry about the outcome. Zixin gave a bright smile and replied, Don't worry, Teacher Yuan. I'm going to win. As Zixin stepped onto the platform, Jinha scrutinized him, assessing internally. This kid is supposed to be their ace? He looks kind of scrawny. He addressed Zixin, Listen, Junior. I'm not the kind of guy who uses his size to pick on the small. The female students on the sidelines immediately started heckling. Hey, fatty, don't get ahead of yourself. Zixin is definitely going to win. Wait until you get pounded into a meat patty. Fatso. Go, Zixin. Teach that dead pig a lesson. Those words were like a direct insult to Jinha's already sensitive pride. He smiled and replied, Tell you what, Junior. I'm going to stand completely still and let you land 10 free hits. That way, you and your little fan club won't get angry and curse me later, claiming I used my size to bully the weak and won unfairly. Zixin just gave a wry smile, scratching his head. All right then. Jinha slapped his massive belly loudly and roared. Then come on, Junior. I'll stand here motionless. You go ahead and hit me with absolutely everything you've got. Just like that, Zixin delivered a full-force punch straight into Jinha's chest without a moment of hesitation, causing Jinha to feel instantly disoriented. The force of the strike was so immense that it sent him spinning several times in the air, and finally hit the ground with a painful thud. Every student and teacher watching was left completely speechless. Yuan Feng and the others burst into cheers. Grim Reaper won. He won. Genie's head was still spinning. He mumbled vaguely, Why am I here? What happened just now? This is ridiculous. It's not scientific. Then the Grade 11 teacher came over to Yuan Feng, patted his shoulder, and praised him. Feng, your class's Grim Reaper is terrifying. He knocked out Wang Jinhe with just one punch. He seems like he's almost as good as Wu Tiansheng when he was a freshman. Yuan Feng immediately replied, That's still debatable. That kid, Wu Tiansheng, is not an ordinary person. Back in high school, he nearly scared the principal half to death. His performance was truly too strong. Just then, Zixin walked up and cut in, asking the two men curiously, Teacher, who exactly is this Wu Tiansheng? Yuan Feng happily explained, Wu Tiansheng is an upperclassman who graduated a few terms ago. When he was just a freshman, he wiped out the entire top class, which terrified many school leaders. When he was in high school, Wu Tiansheng ran the 100 meters in under 6.12 seconds, had a vertical jump of 3.96 meters, and could lift a 650 kg barbell with one hand. Who wouldn't be terrified? Zixin scratched his head and forced a smile, replying, That's a bit intimidating. He really is powerful. He's almost catching up to the strength I had during the summer break after 6th grade. That evening, at the Mingxiang restaurant, Yuan Feng lifted a bottle of Coke and excitedly shouted, It's only thanks to the Grim Reaper that we managed to beat the regular grade 11 class. Their homeroom teacher admitted defeat and bought us all this meal. Everyone, stand up and raise your glasses to celebrate the Grim Reaper. All the classmates joyfully cheered. Grim Reaper is invincible. Invincible. Brother Shun is mighty. Then a stream of classmates lined up to ask me questions. Brother Shun, how do you usually train at home? Do you have any secrets? Oh, Brother Shun, I don't think we're WeChat friends yet. Let's add each other. After taking down the grade 11 class, I became famous throughout the school. My classmates immediately flocked to me, which made me slightly uncomfortable. But Qing Han never changed. She was worried I'd be too busy entertaining friends to eat, so she kept constantly putting food into my bowl. Suddenly, Qing Han remembered something. She told him, Xiao Shun, I'm going to the restroom for a minute. Zixin watched Qing Han leave, deep in thought. But the one thing that never changes is her uncontrollable need to pee. Just as Qing Han walked out of the restroom stall, the voices of other classmates drifted into her ears. Shen Qing Han pours water for Lin Zixin, and then she peels shrimp for him. She really knows how to suck up. She looks like a maid, constantly serving her master. They stood chatting. Given her low skill level, if she weren't Lin Zixin's bootlicking girl, how could she have made it into our top class? I doubt it will last long. Anyway, the power gap between them is too immense. They'll gradually drift apart later on. Furious, Qing Han walked closer to them. She said in a low voice, I am not a flatterer, which made the two girls jump slightly. She added, I am his childhood sweetheart, and then turned and walked away. A little later, after they finished eating, Zishan saw Ching Han looking downcast and asked her worriedly, Ching Han, why do you look so dispirited? Did something happen? She forced a smile and replied, when I was little, my mom always told me that when I grew up, I wouldn't wet the bed anymore. But even now, I still wet the bed every night. I have to wear a diaper every night before I dare to sleep. It feels so uncomfortable. Xiao Shun, I feel like I'm disabled. Like a disabled person who can't control their bladder. Hearing this, Zishan immediately countered, you're not disabled. He stepped forward, put his arm around her shoulder, and said, the inability to hold your pee is your superpower. It's just that this particular superpower hasn't fully developed yet. Ching Han widened her eyes and excitedly shouted, superpower? He replied confidently, exactly. This is your superpower. Your affinity with water is so strong, it's clearly a manifestation of that superpower. She asked Zishan curiously, then, Xiao Shun, since you've been this powerful since childhood, do you have a superpower too? He nodded in agreement, saying, I'm just like you. I have a superpower too. Feeling comforted and reassured, Ching Han asked curiously, if it really is a superpower, what kind of superpower do you think it is? Zishan replied confidently, it must be a very powerful one. Suddenly, right then and there, something started happening in front of them. 3 men standing nearby were trying to persuade another person. Put that broom down now. We are exterminating rats for the safety of the community. Please cooperate with us. The man swung the broom wildly and yelled, stop. Stop it. Don't kill my brothers. He yelled desperately, you're killing my brothers again? I'll fight you all. Ching Han said to Zishan in fear, Xiao Shun, is this person crazy? He immediately stood in front of her. Ching Han said fearfully, maybe he's mentally ill? He looks truly terrifying. He took her hand and reminded her, mentally ill people act exactly like this. Come on, let's go home. That night, at Lin Zishan's house. At that moment, he and his parents were sitting together, listening to the news broadcast. Last week, this young female minister lost contact after leaving the school, and her whereabouts remain unknown. Quan Xian trembled and said, why is another young girl missing? I think this is the 4th girl to disappear this month. Wu Sheng replied, you're mistaken. This is actually the 5th one. All 5 people missing this month are young, beautiful women. We advise young women not to go out at night. If you must go out, it is best to travel in groups and avoid secluded areas. Quan Xian turned to Zishan and asked, Xiao Shun, things aren't safe outside lately. Don't let Ching Han go out alone, okay? He replied awkwardly, don't worry, Mom. I'll look after her carefully. The following afternoon, Shanghai City, District 20, 20th Street Police Precinct. A doctor stepped out of an interrogation room inside the precinct. The officer pressed the doctor. How's the analysis? Is he a mental patient? The doctor sighed. Still inconclusive. I've been trying to communicate, but he hasn't said a single word. He acts completely mute. He's definitely not mute. Back at the market, he wouldn't stop screaming. Suddenly, something inside the room caught the officer's eye. He watched as the man from the market began to transform. Hurry, doctor. Get on the horn. Request headquarters send an augmented agent immediately for backup. The suspect in the interrogation room was rapidly morphing into a massive, mutated rat. The entire team was now engaged, firing everything they had at the enormous, monstrous rat. Just then, a female officer rushed up to report. Chief, command says all the mechanized agents are deployed. It'll take at least 10 minutes to get back up here. We're running low on ammo. I don't think we can hold out that long. Taking in the dire situation, the chief shouldered his weapon and ordered the retreat. Get to the cars now. We'll bait this rat mutant out to the suburbs and buy time until the mechanized agents get here. The female officer quickly scrambled into the cruiser and slammed the door shut. The driver, slamming the gear into drive. The cruiser tore away at maximum speed, trying to outrun the giant rat. The chief, riding shotgun, urged the driver on. Faster. Head toward the mountain range. We need to buy the augments more time. The car shot through the tunnel, leaving a streak of exhaust smoke behind it. But the giant rat's speed was terrifyingly fast. Just seconds later, it ripped straight through the tunnel walls and gained ground. It collided violently with the police cruiser, smashing it into a pile of boulders. The vehicle spun out, screeching, and flipped end over end several times. The female officer's battered body hung half out of the overturned door, her uniform shredded. In the end, we couldn't wait for backup after all. The giant rat let out a savage roar and delivered a devastating kick to the wreckage. Immediately, a huge explosion ripped through the scene, hitting the creature head-on. A mechanized agent appeared, unleashing a relentless torrent of ammunition, locking down the target. She detonated the rounds, tearing apart the giant rat's skin and flesh. Kill confirmed. Hovering above the carnage, she observed the scene. The giant rat dug a hole to escape. These things are definitely getting smarter. but judging by the chunks of gore scattered everywhere, it's severely wounded. It can't have gone far. I still have a chance to track it down and finish the job. Scene change. 3 o'clock in the morning. The city slept on, swallowed by the silent dark. Zishan sat at his desk, scrolling with his wired mouse. He'd been writing for over half a month, churning out 4,000 characters daily. He was nearly at 100,000 characters now, and his income had topped 10,000. He still hadn't published the best plot points. Once those dropped, his numbers would look even better. He wondered how much he'd be making a month after the novel officially launched. Staring at his earnings report in the dead of night, the anticipation of profit was keeping Zishan wide awake. Unable to sleep, he decided to find a small alley without surveillance cameras to test the results of his recent training. A 100-meter sprint in just 3.43 seconds. A long jump of 7.22 meters. The results of my progress are definitely showing. If I keep improving at this rate, I feel like sooner this physical body will achieve transcendence. Suddenly, he sensed something close by, just a few meters down the alley. Alone, dark red and black figure came into view. A rat mutant was holding a different creature in its hands, muttering to itself. "Forgive me, brother. Forgive me. I truly didn't mean to eat you. I'm just so hungry. Once I've had my fill, I promise I'll honor you every single year." Zishan was stunned. A rat mutant? Wait, is this the giant mutant rat they reported escaping today? Did it turn into one of them? That realization hit him, and he instantly whirled around, ready to bolt. I have to get out of here fast. I need to call the police. But just then, the rat mutant spotted him. It dropped the corpse it was holding. "Brother, I might not need to eat you after all. I can eat a person instead." No sooner had it finished speaking, the hairy monstrosity lunged into the chase. "I want meat. I want human flesh. Eat human flesh." Zishan was astonished by its raw capability. "It's so fast. Looks like evasion isn't an option." He spun and delivered a powerful kick to the rat mutant clinging to his leg. "I have no choice but to risk everything." The creature was completely taken by surprise. It went flying, stumbled through the air, and crashed hard onto the pavement. Scrambling back to his feet, the rat man realized this meal was tougher than expected. This kid looked like a frail student. So where did all that raw power come from? Suddenly, he spotted the Reaper holding something in his hand. Before he could register his confusion or even ask, a rock smacked him right on the head. Lin Zishan, meanwhile, was relentless, scooping up stones and launching them in a continuous barrage. He gave the creature no chance to fight back. "I have to finish it off right now. Then I can figure out what to do next." The hailstorm of rocks tore through the rat man's body, leaving it riddled with holes. A moment later, Lin Zishan stood panting, surveying the tattered, ruined mess he had made of the corpse. Internal thought, is it really not moving now? Lin Zishan cautiously approached, gathering the courage to reach out and poke the mangled remains of the rat man. Is it dead then? The system panel popped up, informing him that he had absorbed its life essence. So I can absorb life essence. It must be truly dead then. Huh, only 2%? That's definitely too low. Last time it was 5%. Could this be related to the difference in genetic strength between this rat creature and those cultists? Having finished the job, he made a quick exit. The shadows are long enough to cover me for now. I need to get back immediately. It's almost dawn. I can't linger here. Almost the exact moment Lin Zishan vanished, another person slowly emerged. She stood with her hands on her hips, staring down at the rat man's corpse. Who was the one who killed this rat creature? Scene shifts to an abandoned, half-built house. Inside, a large, muscular man, completely covered in black clothing, carried a young woman slung over his shoulder. He set her down carefully in the center of the magic array. He knelt, bowing low, and offered his tribute to the figure above. "Divine Rat Lord, please accept this offering." The Rat King glared at the meal, utterly displeased. "Why is there only one woman? Are you trying to starve me? This pathetic morsel isn't even enough to pick my teeth with. Perhaps you should be added to this sacrificial offering as well." The man immediately prostrated himself, pleading, "And never. I wouldn't dare. Please, Divine Rat Lord, allow me to explain." The cultist cautiously explained the difficulty. "My lord, the young women outside are extremely vigilant now. They won't leave their homes at night, and during the day, they only travel in groups. It makes capture very difficult." Hearing this, the Rat King's eyes bulged red as he snarled a command. "Then next time, go capture some young men instead." The cultist readily complied. "I understand, Divine Rat Lord." Suddenly, the Rat King tossed a chunk of fresh, raw meat onto the ground before him. He snatched it up, tore into it greedily, and took a frantic bite. "Thank you for your gift, Divine Rat Lord." Simultaneously, the Rat King's long, hideous tongue lashed out and coiled around the girl's body. He gaped his maw wide, revealing a throat lined with rows of needle-sharp teeth. A horrible, wet sound of chewing echoed throughout the derelict building. After finishing, the Rat King offered a final instruction. "Don't bring me commoners next time. They taste bitter. Not good. I want those high and mighty types. They're usually well-fed and well-nourished, making their flesh delightfully rich. Scene change. To rapidly boost Shun Qinghan scores in the martial arts course, Lin Zixin dedicated all his free time to training her at her home. He actively corrected her stance and strikes. Your punching angle is too high. Lower your elbow a little. That's how you generate power. Shun Qinghan absorbed his guidance with serious intent. Lin Zixin continued correcting her. Your feet are too close together. Spread them wider. He missed nothing. Your stance needs to be adjusted too. Don't face your opponent straight on. Turn your body slightly. She followed every instruction obediently. After running through the basics, Lin Zixin gave her signal. Now for some sparring. Come at me with everything you've got. Qinghan immediately bent into her stance. Here I come then. He easily caught her first punch, but offered praise. Not bad. That's a perfect angle, and your punching power is much stronger than before. She leaned back, bracing her weight, preparing to launch a high kick. Lin Zixin pointed out a flaw. Your sweeping stance is wrong. Don't keep your leg clamped before the kick. Widen your stance slightly. Okay, incorporate the adjustments I just gave you, and try that move again. And so, they threw themselves back into training. One was the relentless attacker, the other the steady punching bag. It wasn't until much later that Shun Qinghan finally stopped, completely spent. She was dripping sweat and breathless. Phew, that was exhausting, but I can genuinely feel my martial arts getting stronger. She looked up at him, wanting to step it up. Lin Zixin, I don't think 3 times a week is enough. Can we train every single day? However, he seemed content with the current pace. No, we don't need to. 3 times a week is plenty. Understanding her eagerness, Lin Zixin gently cautioned her. If we did that every day, your body wouldn't be able to handle the strain. Qinghan readily complied. Okay, fine. 3 times a week then. Suddenly, the phone in her pocket vibrated. She eagerly craned her neck to peek over his shoulder, curious. Is that a special breaking news report? The headline read, The Met God Group officially announces via its website that it will provide free treatment for the young mechanical genius who was previously physically disabled due to premature mechanical integration. The Jingda prodigy has successfully fused the 1000-silk mutated spider gene, breaking the Jingda record as the youngest person in history to achieve a second gene fusion. Lin Zixin scrolls the screen, thoughtful. The Jingda prodigy. Is this the capital city wunderkind from all those years ago? Usually, most people have to wait until they reach adulthood before attempting gene fusion. If not, their bodies simply can't handle the effects of the mutated beast genes, and they risk severe mutation. Yet, this capital prodigy, the one they now call the Jingda genius, has completed a second gene fusion before even turning 18. That level of physical innate talent is truly staggering. Wait, could gene fusion actually be the optimal path? Scene shifts back to Lin Zixin's home. Many readers left glowing comments, such as, 50,000 characters a day? That's way too much. With my double heavenly talent aptitude and a month of typing practice, I can now easily write 10,000 words an hour. Dedicating just 1 hour a day to writing won't cut into my daily training, so this output is perfectly manageable. Wu Shang came over to check in. Xiaoshen, your book is selling quite well. If you can consistently write 10,000 words every day and the storyline holds up, your first month's earnings should be around 50,000 yuan in royalties. Once the total word count goes up, earning 100,000 a month won't be a problem. Zixin felt a surge of surprise. 50,000 a month? Even 100,000? With this income, I won't have to worry about the money needed to unlock the exotic beast totems anymore. I hope 2 months' royalties will be enough to unlock the violent great condor totem. Meanwhile, in Han Yuanfeng's martial arts class, an internal sparring session was organized to test the students' progress. Zixin recalled the intense fights, where his resounding kicks sent opponents tumbling. He dominated the whole session, as usual, beating everyone, giving them no chance to fight back. After several bouts, Zixin earned a sizable sum, exactly 888 yuan, while simultaneously gaining several dozen experience points and completing the natural selection achievement. Shun Qinghan, conversely, still failed to defeat anyone and, as usual, ranked dead last in the class. The difference was that now, she displayed a certain level of resistance when facing an opponent. Last time, facing Wan Yuntong, the second-to-last ranked student, she was knocked off the mat and the fight ended in less than 3 seconds. But this time, she sparred with Wan Yuntong for nearly 3 minutes. She wasn't just turtling up, she directly engaged him and even managed to land a few nice strikes. Seeing this, Han Yuanfeng highly praised her dramatic improvement and told her to keep pushing forward. Yuanfeng then announced, his tone clear and decisive. In 1 month, we will challenge the strongest focus class in the 2nd year of high school. Our goal is to defeat everyone in that class except for their top 3 students. Do you all have confidence? All the students shouted back in unison, yes, sir. Seeing the high spirits of his students, Yuanfeng smiled and nodded in satisfaction. Excellent. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, More than a month had passed since the novel hit the shelves. Zishan was at the supermarket buying groceries. "Hello, I'd like to buy some violent, great condor meat." The clerk immediately advised him. "Certainly. How much would you like? We have a promotion right now. If you buy 100 kilograms at once, you'll receive a 5% discount." Zishan paused and thought and made a decision. "I won't be buying today then. I'll wait until I have enough money to purchase 100 kilograms all at once. It's only next month anyway." The next day at school, Qinghan trailed behind Zishan, talking nonstop. "Xiao Shun, they just opened a new section of the cafeteria a few days ago. I hear the chef there is amazing. We should go check it out." Zishan just gave a casual nod in reply. At the school cafeteria, chefs were diligently preparing appealing dishes. Qinghan walked over, looking eager and excited. "That smells incredible." A moment later, Qinghan returned holding a less than perfectly filled food tray. She chatted excitedly with Zishan while eating. "Xiao Shun, it's a good thing we came early, or we would have been stuck waiting in line." Zishan nodded while eating. "That's the truth." Right then, a loud, sudden argument erupted right behind Zishan. "Hey you, why are you cutting the line? Get to the back." "I'm not cutting. This spot is being held for me by my desk mate. You can have people hold spots in line. Are you joking? Cutting is cutting. Move to the back immediately." "I am cutting, but this is my desk mate's line. What business is that of yours? Is there something wrong with your head? Your desk mate is sitting right in front of us. What's the difference between you cutting their spot and cutting mine?" "Yeah, I cut. What are you going to do?" Seeing this, Qinghan grew worried. "Xiao Shun, Yu is fighting someone. Should we go see?" Zishan shook his head. "I don't think that's necessary. Yu is fierce enough to scare off anyone who tries to cut the line." After a sustained argument, the other party, Yu, angrily walked away, muttering punk. Just then, he noticed a group of students whispering and gossiping about him. He walked straight up to them and demanded, "What are you doing? What are you implying?" One student sneered contemptuously, "Nothing at all. We just felt like cutting in front of you." That comment infuriated Yu, and he roared, "What are you messing around for? Get in line." Just as he tried to physically push the group back into the proper queue, he froze in stunned realization. Yu couldn't muster enough strength to move them. "I can't push them." Qinghan immediately stood up, filled with worry. "It's Yu. I think he's being bullied." Zishan walked closer and calmly addressed Yu. "Hey, classmate, please go wait in the back of the line." But Yu smirked and challenged him mockingly. "What are you going to do if I don't?" Zishan pulled out his phone and stated decisively, "I'll report this." Yu frowned, giving Zishan a look of utter disdain. "Wow, you're going to play the tattletale card? That's pathetic." Zishan remained completely calm, his expression slightly smug and mocking. "I think cutting the line is far more pathetic personally." Seeing that they couldn't win the argument, the group of students turned and walked away, still sneering dismissively. Night fell at a villa in the Shanghai city area. A man, the rat cult leader, sat upon a raised platform and spoke in an eerie voice. "Chong the idiot is dead. Before he died, he went on a rampage at the vegetable market, antagonizing the security team, and then he lost his life." The people below agreed decisively. "It's a relief that Idiot Dog is dead. He caused chaos and disturbances everywhere. I wanted him gone ages ago. Otherwise, he would have dragged us down sooner or later." Hearing this, the rat cult leader issued a serious command. "This boy here is our newcomer. He will inherit Chong the Idiot's position in the future. Everyone, make his acquaintance." Furthermore, the rat god has informed me that common people are too bitter and difficult to consume. From now on, we must feast on those of high status. You must all understand this and cease offering unsuitable sacrifices." The crowd below looked stunned and astonished. Cult leader, capturing high-status individuals is incredibly dangerous. That's right, cult leader. If one or two common people vanish, it's nothing, but if high-status people disappear, it will become a major incident. The leader must clarify the reason right away. We need to swiftly select the sons of wealthy businessmen, the kind whose parents are too useless to discipline them. That approach significantly minimizes risk. Since you're still a novice, we don't need to target the elite yet. Start by practicing on a handsome, ordinary young man. Once you're ready, we'll bring a proper offering to the Lord Envoy of the Mouse God." Hearing this, the man beside him grinned confidently. "Have no fear, leader. I will personally deliver the finest sacrifice this city has to offer to the Lord Envoy." Back in class, Yu fumed, explaining everything to Zishan. "I spent days investigating, and you know who cut in front of me that day? Students from high school class 3. The strongest elite class we're about to fight. Seriously, those elite students have zero manners. I'm done with them." Zishan scrolled on his phone, looking completely uninterested. Being smart doesn't automatically mean you have character. While scrolling smoothly, a shocking news headline suddenly slapped him in the face. The screen clearly displayed the news. "Large reward offered for missing son." Zishan was stunned, wondering, another second-generation rich kid vanished? This is the 5th one already. And the motive isn't money at all. No kidnapper has demanded a ransom from the families. Could these disappearances be connected to the mouse god cult? Before long, it was time for the next session. Today, our high school class 1 will officially challenge the strongest elite class 3. The same people who cut in front of Hayu last week. They glanced pointedly towards Hayu. Hayu immediately responded with an equally provocative hand gesture. Shortly after, both teams finished their warm-ups, and the sparring began. Just like before, Shun Qinghan was the one to start the first round. Then, Qinghan's opponent rushed forward, launching the first move. Caught completely off guard, she was sent flying several meters away by a powerful kick. Qinghan painfully dragged herself across the ground. The senior from the elite class is too strong. I can't defend against her, even using the most passive, defensive tactics. The senior then immediately rushed forward to attack another classmate. Next, Qinghan was hit square by another one of her lightning-fast kicks. It wasn't just Shun Qinghan. Even Li Chu, Xin, and the others were completely helpless against this senior. It wasn't until a slightly stronger, short-haired classmate stepped up that the senior was finally defeated. But another senior from the opposing team quickly regained control of the situation. In less than 10 minutes, this fighter had defeated 9 people in a row, and that included 3 male students. Before long, the entire class was battered, with only 4 people remaining: Zi Shun, Wang Shujia, Lu Gang, and Hayu. Meanwhile, in high school class 3, only 5 students had been eliminated from the ring, and 36 students hadn't even made an appearance yet. All 5 eliminated students were girls. The opposing team hadn't even put a single male student into the ring yet. Recognizing the desperate situation, Yuan Feng gritted his teeth anxiously. The gap in strength is too massive. We can't possibly win this. Having no other choice, he turned to Hayu and ordered, "Hayu, it's your turn. They still have 6 girls left. Go take them all out. Can you do it?" He stepped onto the arena with a confident, cocky expression. "Piece of cake, sir." Hayu strode onto the platform, his mind completely in the clouds. 6 people? Please. I wouldn't mind fighting a few more seniors if they want to send them. A moment later, Hayu was drenched in sweat. Done. Hayu lived up to expectations. With minimal effort, he had taken out all 6 female students. At that moment, a set of firm, confident footsteps echoed across the platform. Chiyu entered the fight, a confident look on his face and a challenging tone. Ready to die? Faced with his opponent, Hayu didn't flinch. Instead, he shot back with sharp sarcasm. You don't just lack manners, you lack self-awareness too. The first guy they send out has to be a total scrub. Time for payback. Hearing that, Chiyu didn't hesitate, rushing forward and delivering a ferocious blow straight towards Hayu. In the next second, he took Chiyu's iron fist strike full force. Hayu painfully collapsed on the ground, grimacing through the pain. So fast, and that punch. Chiyu walked over and arrogantly placed his foot squarely on Hayu's back. See? Just a scrub. Give up. Reacting instantly, Hayu tried to land a ferocious punch, his voice sharp and determined. You'll never make me. Chiyu then kicked Hayu hard in the stomach, making him wince in agony. Hayu soon crumpled face first onto the ground. He trembled, clutching his stomach, his face twisted in pain. That hurts. His strength is definitely on par with, maybe even higher than, the other male students. He stepped out specifically to get his revenge on me. Damn it, I was too careless. Standing tall, Chiyu glanced down towards Zishan, his voice ringing with challenge. Don't you just love sticking your nose into other people's business? If you got the guts, get in here. Otherwise, stay out of it. Zishan immediately jumped straight onto the fighting platform. Zishan paused for a few seconds, considering. I was getting bored from not being able to step into the ring. Well, perfect timing. My chance is finally here. The classmates below immediately roared their support for him. Shun, knock him flat. Embarrass him. Cutting the line in the cafeteria was one thing, but being such a jerk in the ring? Zero shame. Take him down hard. Get revenge for Hayu. Chiyu didn't hesitate, rushing Zishan with all his might. He paused, then drove his leg forward, aiming a powerful kick straight at the young man's face. But the Reaper merely raised a hand, effortlessly catching the blow. Then, in a swift move, the Reaper grabbed Chiyu's hair and slammed his head down hard. Just seconds into the fight, Chiyu was already reeling, the arrogant swagger he had moments ago completely gone. Only the Reaper remained standing on the mat, looking down at Chiyu with undisguised pride. The very next second, he delivered a clean kick, launching Chiyu completely off the fighting platform. The onlookers were aghast. Chiyu was a top 5 student in our class. He was instantly flattened. How ridiculously powerful is this guy? Yuan Feng frowned thoughtfully. Lin Zishan is absolutely holding back a significant amount of power. There's no way he'd be this strong otherwise. Shu Jie's jaw dropped in disbelief. Damn it. We already thought Lin Zishan was strong, but that wasn't even his full power. Lu Gang gasped in terror. Is he even human? The Reaper glared down at the stunned crowd, his voice low and challenging. Who's going to challenge me now? Faced with such a blatant challenge, every single person present shrank back, their faces turning ghastly pale. And just like that, half an hour passed. All 29 remaining students from High School Class 3 were utterly defeated. The Reaper looked at the motionless bodies on the ground and wondered aloud. I wonder what progress I've made on the natural selection goal. The system interface flashed, displaying the current progress of natural selection. Only 119? He shook his head, frustrated. This increase rate is far too sluggish. He rested his chin on his hand, pondering. During every class sparring session, I'm always the last one to participate. I can't let this continue. My power completely surpasses the high school level. There's no point in abiding by their standard curriculum anymore. From now on, I will set my own rules. Time flew by until the following Monday. In the principal's office, a voice cried out in shock. What? The principal looked utterly astonished as she asked the Reaper, You want me to set up a private, reward-based challenge for you? He nodded firmly. That's right. I want to challenge the entire student body. The principal sighed, rubbing her temples in exasperation. You're just a high school freshman, and you're challenging the entire school? Are you serious about this? What possible grounds do you have? Lin Zishan stood before her and affirmed resolutely, Yes, ma'am. Principal, please accompany me to the gymnasium, and I will prove to you that I possess the necessary strength for this challenge. He then led the principal toward the gym. The principal looked around the empty room, confused. Zishan, it's this late. Why exactly did you bring me here? He stripped off his jacket and replied nonchalantly, Obviously, it's to demonstrate my capabilities. The principal froze instantly, a look of outright panic crossing her face. Does the boy intend to show? Zishan, wait just a minute. Ignoring her completely, the Reaper walked toward a heavy barbell near the wall. With shocking ease, he effortlessly hoisted the approximately 700-kilogram barbell overhead. Standing behind him, the principal stared, utterly dumbfounded, her eyes wide as saucers. Her mouth hung open. 700 kilos. This is the power he meant? He's even stronger than Wu Tiancheng was in his freshman year, the strongest student in our school's history. Witnessing the Reaper's monstrous ability, the principal agreed instantly. No problem. I will organize a public exhibition for you to challenge the entire school. Lin Zishan scratched his head sheepishly, adding one more condition. Principal, please remember to put up a prize. Without a reward, nobody will be motivated to step up. It would be best to create 2 reward tiers. One should be a participation prize, just to encourage everyone to step onto the mat. The second is an accumulating prize, a bounty fund. The more challenges that occur, the bigger the fund gets. Anyone who successfully defeats me wins the entire jackpot. If nobody beats me within a set time frame, the prize belongs, well, it's mine to decide. The principal nodded, smiling confidently. Don't worry, leave this to your principal. I will implement everything exactly as you've proposed. He continued to confide in her. Principal, please keep my actual capabilities a secret for now. If they knew, they wouldn't have the motivation to challenge me. The principal walked over and patted his shoulder reassuringly. All right. Your principal has got you covered. After their conversation concluded, they returned to the principal's office. She pulled out a draft proposal and handed it to him. Zishan, take a look. What do you think of this plan for organizing the challenge? He happily accepted the proposal. No issues at all, ma'am. You've gone to a lot of trouble, principal. The principal smoothed her hair and replied lightly, Oh, don't mention it. It wasn't any trouble at all. Just then, Yuan Feng and Darun walked by and immediately began rubbing their eyes in disbelief. What the hell is going on? Is the world ending? Yuan Feng stared, his body rigid with shock. This is the fearsome headmistress who always maintains a deadly serious expression around campus. Why is she now smiling so sweetly and fawning over Lin Zishan? Time quickly advanced to 2 o'clock that afternoon. Following the plan, the principal began introducing the Reaper's basic details and recent achievements, followed by a detailed explanation of the challenge rules and the prize money. As expected, the crowd below the stage was in an uproar. Students immediately jumped up, voicing their outrage. Principal, are you sure about this? Has she lost her mind? He's a high school freshman, and you're setting up an arena for the entire school to challenge him? Where does this arrogance come from? Does he even deserve our challenge? He just beat the strongest class of the second year, and he's already showing off like this? Anyone who didn't know better would think he'd surpass the top class of the third year. He's so arrogant. He thinks he's so great. Who does he think he is? Wu Tiancheng, the strongest student in this school's history. The Reaper looked at the commotion and spoke clearly and decisively. Starting tomorrow, I will be standing guard at the martial arts ring in the gym for 2 hours every day during lunch break. Everyone is welcome to try their luck. Excellent. He thought internally as he finished speaking. It seems a lot of people want to beat me senseless. Natural selection might be completed ahead of schedule. The scene shifts to the evening, where the city streets are bustling with activity. Walking casually down the street was a young man, completely alone and seemingly at ease. 2 girls approached him, speaking in a suggestive tone. Hey there, cutie. Walking all alone? Care to join us for a few drinks at the bar? He merely cast a fleeting glance their way and responded bluntly. Seeing his bluntness, the two girls angrily turned and walked away. Not interested? Get lost then. You no fun at all. You're destined to die alone. The young man observed the bustling crowd carefully. I'm impressed. Is this how Shanghai City functions? I just want to find one 10 out of 10 handsome guy. Why, after all these days, haven't I been able to find one yet? Not a single passable guy has walked down this street. The cultist scratched his head and tore at his hair, his face a mask of irritable frustration. If I can't complete this sacrifice mission perfectly, what's the master going to think? Am I going to get ostracized from the cult later? I originally planned on snatching up some male celebrities, but they're always swamped with bodyguards. I'm just a newbie in the rat god cult. I simply don't have the power to take them down. I'm freaking out. The deadline for the mission is almost here. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Just then, he noticed the Reaper running past. Staring at the young man, he couldn't help but gasp in amazement. Damn, he's good looking. I search high and low for a target, and the perfect one just walks right into my lap. A cruel smirk twisted the rat cultist's lips. He's the one. He quietly began following the Reaper. The rat cultist suddenly got a scared look on his face. This road looks completely deserted. He instantly dropped his disguise, giving a guttural growl. Time to make my move. Before he could do anything, a brick flew out of nowhere and smashed him directly on the head. He clutched his aching head. What the hell? The Reaper stepped forward, holding a brick and looking alert. I didn't expect to catch a rat man while out for a run. A mutated rat target like this should boost my unlock speed. The cultist clutched his pounding head, his face a mask of pain and fury. This guy's terrifying, and he's talking about things I don't even understand. Why am I so damn unlucky? The cultist slowly lost his balance and collapsed right in front of the Reaper. The Reaper's eyes widened in surprise. What the? Just one brick to the head, and he's dead already? Are there really rat god cultists this week? He walked over and subtly used magic to extract the cultist's essence. Whatever. No use stressing over it. I should just hurry up and absorb the life source before someone shows up. Only a 1% increase? That little? No wonder this rat man was such trash. Still, just to be safe, maybe I shouldn't go jogging late at night for a while. After all, not every cultist is absolute garbage like this one. Some rat cultists are pretty formidable. Once they mutate, their bodies are incredibly strong. They can even shrug off gunfire. Later, the Reaper returned home to shower and rest after a tiring day. At 3 a.m. last night, the city police headquarters collaborated with instructors from Shanghai University's Evolution Academy to wipe out the rat god cult in a single sweep. He sat watching the news broadcast, a slight look of shock on his face. The rat god cult got destroyed? The one who defeated the Rat King this time was Wu Tianqing, an instructor from Shanghai University's Evolution Academy, a genetically merged individual of high-level biological rank. Wu Tianqing appeared in the dead of night and launched a fierce attack on the rat cult stronghold. With just a few moves, the cultists were utterly decimated by Wu Tianqing. The entire battle lasted barely half a minute, resulting in an overwhelming victory. The Reaper watched the fight, silently marveling. Is this the true power of a high-level being? On a quiet night, a certain apartment building was still brightly lit. A man sat comfortably in a chair, leisurely sipping tea. Tianqing, still no contact with the professor? Wu Tianqing gently blew the steam off his teacup, looking placid. Still missing. His expression then became extremely serious. A group of powerful figures went to Anomaly Zone 36 that year, and their whereabouts remain unknown to this day. What's the status of Anomaly Zone 36 now? Wu Tianqing sighed, explaining thoroughly. It's pretty stable now. If it weren't, I wouldn't have time to be here. During the cleanup operation that year, a few small fry managed to escape during chaos. Small fry? He reflected on the rat cultists and stated calmly. The entire city security headquarters was powerless against that rat king. Yet compared to a genius high-level being like you, it truly was nothing more than a small shrimp. The man threw an arm over Wu Tianqing's shoulder, enthusiastically suggesting, since you're already here, why don't you go back to the academy and give a lecture? Big brother, I'm not unemployed. I have real work to do. Giving pep talks to those cute boys and girls counts as real work too. Inside a cavern, the bright moonlight shone down into the deep, dark abyss. From within the deep, dark cave, a voice echoed. At first, you only ate stray animals. Then, you started eating soft-fleshed young humans. Eventually, after consuming high-ranking individuals, you developed this human form. A huge foot stepped closer to the rat cultist. The voice was cold and sinister. I spent tremendous effort bringing you here so you could fortify the clan and dig tunnels. Instead, you run around eating people and causing such a massive commotion. The monster standing before the cultist was huge and muscular. Its eyes flashed, and it roared sharply. Tell me, do you deserve to die? Hearing this, the rat cultist trembled in terror, begging, my lord, please, grant me one more chance. The monster leaned in, placing its face right next to the cultist's, and let out a sinister chuckle. I can grant you an opportunity, but only... He immediately brandished his sharp talons right before the eyes of the coward, threatening punishment. You must pay the price. Just like that, a terrified shriek echoed, accompanied by a torrent of bright, fresh crimson pouring out.